Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another failtastic episode of Fail PG. As usual, I am the Mighty Mage, your game master. With us tonight, we have Ross the Boss, cowering behind his shirt.
Support J. Ross Photography.
We have Sir Goat.
Hey, what's up?
And Surge. Nobody cares about him, though.
That person.
That's
guy.
true.
Guy.
That is true. Nobody cares about that guy.
It is the story of my life.
I just heard my ice maker go off.
I just heard a shotgun go off.
Black and
We'll
blood
talk about
crime.
that.
The joys of a new place.
I need a new chair. I swear I really do. God dang it, she messed up my chair.
You know what? I'll be right back. I just thought about something. I'm going to go unplug something before it becomes an issue in the middle of recording.
See, look at this. See?
We were almost ready. But once
And
again,
we
ladies
fail.
and gentlemen, we fail spectacularly.
What is my chat? Oh, God. Yeah, we just going to hear a bunch of noises today. That's all. That's what I feel like.
Wow, Greg,
Okay.
that was probably the deadest dead-eye stare I think anybody has given the camera.
Did I stare the crap out of that?
I mean, he's pretty dead inside, so it makes sense.
I was trying to set something up.
I mean, it's what happens when you eat, breathe, and live gluten-free.
No,
That's
it's when
that
you
does
listen
You're
to
doing
someone.
false accusations of me. You know what's funny? I was at a hospital like yesterday, not yesterday. It's Friday, and then like one of the nurses like, oh, this man's diet is gluten free, and I was like, oh no, really? And then he actually said he said he actually had the actual ailment. What do we call it?
Celiac
What do you say?
disease.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. He's gluten free for actual good reason. That's
Yeah,
some made
if
up
it's
nonsense.
true, we love you. If you think you have it and you know you don't, and you're just saying, I have a gluten allergy, go to hell.
I'm like, well, he's like, well, the gluten is genetically modified. Yeah, like you should just stop eating food.
What? Am I wrong for saying that?
No, you're absolutely right. You're 100% right. I was just thinking if I wanted to keep my mic there or bring it back. So I could actually lean back in my chair for once.
No,
You're not allowed to lean back. There is no comfort
lean
to be
back.
had in this game.
And I can just do this.
It's too late. I've already pulled up my pants and I've already decided to do the rockaway.
I
So
can
now I'm
move.
just going to lean back.
I can just move. I can move my mic.
Now just move it a little bit to your right.
To my right? Okay,
A
that
little
way.
more. There we go. That's good. We're gonna run the
All
game just like
right.
that.
You know what? Somehow I am not opposed to this.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it like this the whole game.
and there was much
Let's see how long
rejoicing.
that.
Yeah.
Let's see how long that actually. See, I knew he was going
It's
to bring
not gonna happen.
Mhm,
They
mhm.
love this space.
Boo.
it. Boo.
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 We want
Oh.
the mic. We want the mic. Yay!
There we go. That's what we want to see. All right, gentlemen, are you ready to begin this insanity that you've wrought?
Only if you can give me the recap first, because I kind of remember doing some weird stuff, but I don't remember doing weird stuff.
Oh man, you don't
It's
remember
a lot
the
of-
weird stuff? Don't remember the weird stuff? You wounded me deeply.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was just regular weird stuff or if it was like weird butt stuff.
I mean, when you're involved, it's almost always weird butt stuff.
Especially with Striker and Ronnie around, and then Gaddox right there. This is always some weird butt stuff. Yeah.
Did Seregios really wash himself enough?
Yes, does he wash his nether regions? That's the most
Nether
important.
Willy. That's what I'm gonna call it. now,
Nether Willy.
Nether Willy.
What are we, 5?
Yes, duh.
That's probably a bit generous.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty like 2.5 years oldish right about now.
3.
I don't think you ever breached 3, to be perfectly honest.
You're not 3 yet. I'm 3 years old.
Well, last time, you great bumbling buffoons, you stumbled upon a couple of villagers in the marshland as you were searching for little Timmy, or little Franz in this case, lost in the wilderness.
Jimmy!
Oh,
And,
Lord, we lost Jimmy.
They warned you that you were encroaching upon sacred ground, but you guys pressed onward and then stumbled upon a magical barrier that hid a very strange and mysterious structure in the middle of the swamp. With spooky stuff going on and spooky energy going on. But despite y'all's better judgment, you decided to step inside the stepped pyramid at the center of the structure. Anyway, and so that is where we pick up this evening. You are inside this gloomy stepped pyramid.
I remember now. Ronnie just started randomly walking her way towards the thing, and everybody kind of stopped her at the last second. And that's what.
And I tried to say, "Get the hell out of here," but I decided to follow Ronnie.
So now you guys are all in the gloom of this pyramid.
Just to let everybody know, this is the most weirdest relationship that Joe ever seen in his whole game. Started out fighting all the time to messing with Gaddock to possibly a good relationship. Find out next time on Failed PG.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if you guys.
Oh man, I can't wait for the fan fictions.
Oh god,
and there it is. That's what I was hoping nobody was gonna say. God damn it! I hate you. I hate you so much.
Straight to Rule 34.
Oh man.
No.
It's
Fail
too
PG
late.
section if we get popular enough.
It's too late, man. The word is out now. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, now we got to look at all this Rule 34. Freaking Noel's wife at the brothel.
Are you kidding me? There'll be all those Ronnie fail PGs. Everybody draw like the Diablo 3 barbarian.
Knowing people.
You know what the sad part is? There will be Ronnie art, but I guarantee you 99.9% of it will all be tentacle porn.
Probably.
Some monster they meet in the swamp.
Especially No's wife. Definitely a lot of tentacle porn.
I can honestly see people like drawing Ronnie at Noel's brothel with Noel's wife and the tentacle porn.
Yeah.
And poor little Riku.
Well, those are the really cultured guys, but no one's that cold. That'll be far.
You may be right.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty cultured guys on there. Rule 34 site.
You'll see Riku. You'll see Twitchy. You'll see.
Did I say that all out? Oh man.
What's his name? What was it? Oh god, I forgot his name. The one that was always with us. Oh god.
Oh, Hal.
Yep, Hal.
Oh man. There's gonna be Rule 34 with Hal with Noel's wife. Oh no.
I mean, they both they still back there.
Oh no.
Just saying.
No. The Rule 34 is
even worse. No, even worse. She said still back there. She's all the way back in Uruk.
Yeah,
she's all the way back in Uruk.
Yeah.
But
looking after
Stryker's girl who happens to be the nurse is still back there with Hal and them.
No.
Back in Lagash. It's gonna be her and all the soldiers. She's gonna be getting gangbanged. Oh no.
I see what you started.
No.
See this insanity that you've started?
This is why I didn't want anybody to bring it up, because I knew this was going to be the rabbit hole that opened. I'm sorry.
I'll take a polemically relationship. I got Ronnie. I'll take Noel's wife just because.
Ooh la la. Our map is up.
Yes.
I suppose I shall now enter this into the video. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
We're finally in that place. I forgot after like
We're in
circling
a dark
around it.
hole.
Yeah, we came to a T section.
No, we're in a dark hole. Get it?
You're always in a dark hole.
That's how I got kids.
And that is the truth.
I did it. Thank you for coming. This was the show. Everybody drive safe.
Oh, you said I can stop recording.
Okay. Thank God.
Here, I thought this was gonna linger on today. Oh God, this is the quickest recording session ever.
Let's do this.
So, you guys are just inside the entrance to the stepped pyramid The stone doors, which you may recall from the last episode, appeared to have been blown off their hinges and are lying sort of haphazardly in pieces on the floor, are behind you. The passageway is surprisingly wide. It was only about 10 feet wide at the very entrance, but it expanded quickly to almost 20 feet wide in the area that you're standing now. The ceiling climbs up and up and up and disappears into the gloom. You can't see where it actually reaches the top. The light of your torches is a very dim glow that doesn't seem to intrude very far ahead of you into the structure. The air inside here is very damp, very humid, despite the fact that it's not very warm. And the walls seem to glisten with a sheen of moisture. It is very quiet inside. You can hear the occasional drip of water somewhere within the structure, but no other sound travels up the passageway.
Go ahead, say something.
So the walls inside, you mentioned that they are glistening with moisture. I'm assuming that these walls are that same black stone that we've seen outside on the structure as well?
They appear to be, yes.
Shit. I'm sitting in there thinking, like, I kind of wish we had that little telepathy thing right now where we can easily hear each other in our mind. So that way we can actually listen instead of going, hey, just in case something comes in and kill us.
Too bad this ain't Marvel, and too bad your name ain't Jean Grey.
Or the dragon who helped us communicate.
You got a thirsty redhead and a thirsty short man with claws and a temper problem.
Oh, and don't forget a thirsty 6'2" simp.
Who's that?
Which one of the three of you is that?
I already said Cyclops.
I'm 6'1".
No, you said no. You said short man, and you said
no. Yeah, redheaded. That's Cyclops. Cyclops is a redhead, right?
No, he's a.
Oh yeah, he's brunette. I keep forgetting my bad.
I said Jean was a redhead.
Yeah, exactly.
The passageway that you're in right now.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm pulling you back. We don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The passageway splits off into what would have been a four-way intersection, but looking right ahead, Noel, you're in the front, you can see most clearly. It looks like that section of the passageway directly ahead has collapsed. There's a huge pile of rubble and root and stone in front of you, and it's completely impassable. Your only way deeper into the structure is the passageway on the left or the right.
I say let's vote on it. I say, hey crew, obviously we don't know where we're going, left or right, and based on what the other characters say.
Now, as a hunter, can I use my tracking skills?
Sure.
Wait, did I get the tracking skills
You've
yet?
got tracking skill, yeah.
I did get tracking skills. Yep, I knew it was something. Can I just see if I can scan to see which way might be? What's the word? I want to look safer, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember, who all did we give torches to? Because I know we didn't give torches to everybody.
I got a torch.
SourceU has a torch, and the twins have torches.
Yep. Just Noel and Ronnie doesn't have torches, so they're ready to fight just in case. And me, I got a torch in my hand and one of my short swords.
Right, which explains SourceU's positioning, because he's basically lighting for Noel, who's walking around with spear and shield in hand.
And I'm closer to the back with Ronnie, so that way nothing can come from behind. Excuse me, sorry. So yeah, I just want to see if I can tell which way might be better, left or right.
Okay. So your hunter skill is specifically for tracking people. So are you looking to see if there are signs of people?
Yep, just in case somebody was in here, we can tell which way they went. And if I can tell that they didn't come back that way, that means it wasn't safe.
All right. Roll me this will be a 12 side.
12 side. All
And
right.
while he's rolling for that, can I roll perception for Sir Regios just to see if maybe he notices anything unusual that might be able to tell them, like, oh, maybe let's go this way or not go this way?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a
So,
bad roll
Mr.
already.
Ross, what did you get?
I got a 4.
A 4.
I didn't do much better. I got a 5.
And do I
Okay.
got a plus anything for that? Or no? That's just
You do get a bonus.
I can't remember what it was.
So,
It's just like a
Striker,
+1, though, right?
you're looking around for any signs that people may have been in here at some point recently.
Oh, 6. Okay.
And you notice there is actually kind of a thick layer of dust on the floor in all directions. However, in the passageway to the left, you see disturbances in the pattern of the dust, like tracks, possibly.
Okay.
It's indistinct. You can't tell if they're human, if they're animal. It just looks like something disturbed the dust recently. Looking to your right, after a minute or two of studying the dust, you notice similar disturbances. There was some kind of foot traffic in here recently, going down both ways, but you're not sure when or by whom or by what.
Okay. Does it look like they're going and coming back or just going? Or I can't tell.
It's hard to tell. It just looks
Okay.
like the dust has been disturbed.
So I go, huh. Okay, this might be a little difficult, guys. It looks like something came through. And each direction they went. I can't tell if they came back the same way, but Sir Regios, you notice anything?
And I rolled a 5, so I'm assuming no.
No.
Yeah, Sergio's lacking the bonus that he had for his hunter's perception. You don't notice anything.
Sorry, I can't really make much out.
Okay. Let's see. Can I do a perception to see which one looks more disturbed?
You can try, sure. It's 12 side.
That is a 6.
A 6.
That way.
They look equally fresh to you.
Damn. All right, guys. We can just pick a side, and if we don't like the way we go, we can just quickly go back the other way. That's all I can say. Ronnie, what you say?
Ronnie is kind of just looking around. Being somewhere something about this place it disturbs Ronnie. You can tell she's unsettled. She doesn't really say much, but you can tell she's intently looking around.
All right. Twins, what you think?
Kadok and Gadok exchange a quick look, and Kadok says, "It doesn't seem to matter as long as we make a decision and quickly. I'd like to spend as little time in here as possible."
Feisty. All right, so let's do this. Anybody got a coin?
I got a coin. I got a quarter.
I always got a coin.
Hold up.
But before
No,
you...
I thought you was broke. How you got a coin?
Yeah, wait a minute. You broke. Where my 5 at?
Well, we mean you talking to me?
Yeah, we talking
No,
to you.
you
Where,
broke.
you supposed to be broke. Where my 5 at?
Hold up.
When did I say I was broke?
Nah, I want my 5. Give me my 5.
When did I owe you $5?
Give me my 5.
I always remember my debts. I don't owe you shit.
You say that now until I show up in your house. Break
A
the
Witherspoot always pays his debts.
I say heads we
That's
go
probably
left.
the right thing about that whole statement.
I go heads we go left, tails we go right.
And before you even like pull the coin, so Regios kind of grabs your wrist and goes, maybe, and I'm saying this reluctantly here, But if we end up going to a dead end and having to turn back around as an entire group, things might get a bit tight in formation. Maybe this is the part where we split up.
Nope.
And he looks over at Caddock. You did say you wanted to spend less time, right?
Caddock eyes you with some annoyance and mutters, "Not very genre savvy."
I'll leave it to you to decide, but if we have to search this entire place from going to one end to the other, it would end up defeating the purpose of doing this quickly, would it not?
Unless one party dies, and then hey, it's cool. But you make the decision, and I'll just go along with anything.
Well, Noel, what are you thinking about all of this? This talk about splitting the party.
I look at a striker in the eye. I said, "Are you absolutely sure?" And I stare at him.
I didn't say it. I'm not going. I say stick together. So Regios over there.
See, I get what Noah's trying to do.
Nope.
He's brilliant. He's actually being a brilliant man right now. I see you. I see you, sir. I see you. We're right here, sir. We're right here.
Are you sure, striker?
I'm like, all right, you know what? If we split up, the twins are going with you.
I didn't agree to that.
Oh, what? You didn't agree to what? Oh, no.
I didn't agree
they
to
go with
use
SpaghettiOs then. All right, cool. So SpaghettiOs, they go with you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with SpaghettiOs.
Sir Regios rolls his eyes and goes, "If you're leaving all this up to me, then I'm picking the teams."
Nope, I already got my team. I'm good.
What's your team?
Like, yeah,
I'm going by myself.
Oh yeah, that's
you
brilliant.
You can't do nothing by yourself. Like, stop.
You know what? I'm almost tempted to let him do it
I'm
see if he dies.
I'm like,
sometimes I saved you.
So, how many times you got me in trouble at the same time?
No,
that's talking about saving me.
No, doesn't get people in trouble. No gets people in adventures.
I go let hiding in a barrel.
It's not my proudest moment, but it could have worked.
So I go, you know what? Fine. If we split up, it'll be me, Ronnie, and no.
I don't know. I had too many adventures with you. How about
you want to go with Sir SpaghettiOs? That's fine. You know what? I'll take it.
Sergios crosses his arms for a moment and thinks about it. You take Gaddock with you.
Okay.
Me, Noel, and Caddock will go the opposite direction. Which way would you like to take?
Now, this is where we flip a coin.
Caddock kind of rolls his eyes at the lot of you and says, "We're on the right side of the party. Why don't we take the right-hand passage?"
I like simple logic.
Fine, so logical.
I'm just tired of listening to you quibble like some old women.
I'm tired of you acting like an old fart.
Believe me, the sooner we get done with this silly fetch quest, whatever it is, the sooner you won't have to deal with my old fartness.
Children, are we gonna keep at this forever?
Hey, don't be acting like that. You know what happened when we get done with this.
Yes.
Drinks on the twins. And then I start walking to the left.
Caddock.
Don't forget the soap.
Caddock, if I kill him, would it go against anything that could possibly get me in trouble with Tiamat? At all?
Well, Tiamat usually likes to do those things himself, but if something unfortunate were to befall him in our adventure, well, let's just say my sister and I could be persuaded to
I can
not
hear
mention
y'all.
anything.
Good.
There's literally nothing around here. Actually hear y'all.
Good. I wanted you to hear me.
And good. When we done, we ain't got to work together no more.
Good.
Good.
Oh, for the love of the light.
And I look back at Sir Reggio's, I go, yeah. And I keep walking. All right, come on, guys. Let's do this.
Well, how are you all forming up in your little lanes? Who's taking point for each group?
I'll take point.
You're taking point, all right.
Actually, that's not the worst idea. Yeah, you take point, have Kadok in the middle of us. Sir Regios will bring up the rear.
But here's the thing. He doesn't have a torch.
So Regius has got a torch, so.
Mm-hmm.
And Kadok has a torch.
Right, so that means Kadok should be in front. Because Noel doesn't have a torch, so he ain't gonna be able to see where he's
you'll
going.
be able to see,
Yeah,
you just won't be able to see as far.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
good luck.
You guys are going like yay.
I'll be in front. Gadok will be in the middle. And Ronnie, you want to take the rear?
Yes, but since you mentioned it, as you and Gadok start walking, you notice that you only hear one pair of footsteps behind you. Ronnie, for some reason, has moved up towards where the rubble is on that path forward.
I go, what? Hold on. Let's wait for Ronnie.
All right, Ronnie, you're standing in front of the rubble pile here. And
Ronnie's kind of eyeing it up, trying to see if she can understand, like, what is this, like a cave-in scenario? Did something break this down? She's looking for some sort of clues to get an idea of what was going on. Was this path ever used at all? Was it just unfinished?
give me a perception check.
As she doing that, I'll turn around and go look like, what you
That's
looking
a
for?
7?
7.
Yes.
Studying the walls, you can see some indications that the shattered stonework on the floor appeared to have been ripped out of the walls and possibly out of the ceiling, although you cannot see the ceiling overhead. It disappears into the gloom, and you don't have a torch of your own. But as far as you can tell, it looks like the passageway collapsed at some point. As to how or why, you can't be sure.
I walk back over to Ronnie and say, what's going on? What you see?
Maybe we should be careful.
Oh, I'm always careful.
No, I mean really careful.
Yeah.
If this is what I think it is, this could have been like the structure itself giving way. We may want to get out of here a lot sooner than we thought.
Oh, y'all wanted to come in here. Let's go then.
For whatever it's worth, Ronnie, as you're examining the rubble pile, you notice that the layer of dust on all these fallen stones is just as thick as it is on the floor. Whatever did this, whatever happened here, appears to have happened quite some time ago.
Let's just keep our eyes open. With that, Ronnie will start to catch up to Stryker and Gaddock.
All right.
Catch up. I was right next to you. So let's go.
No, we're going to come to your little party first.
Mm-hmm.
Don't die.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure, what you looking for?
Any signs of like a path, like not a path per se, like directions, something engraved in the wall or the ground, something that can point to like something.
All right, give me a 12 side.
Oh, of course. I got a 1. Of course.
You look around, but the walls appear to be completely uniform and unblemished, just like the exterior of the structure.
Oh.
Quick question, Goat.
Yeah.
When you're rolling on your desk, are you remembering to put down like a cloth or like a bandana or something on your table?
Yeah. There's a cloth. Yeah.
Okay. No. I just figured I'd double check and ask because I hear your rolls so hard. That's why I'm just like, did he put it?
Sometimes it rolls out of the cloth. Sometimes the end it rolls off the cloth. But yeah. But it's a metal dice, so yeah. Even on the cloth, you hear it.
Like that.
Now.
All right. Yeah, that's a critical failure. I'm surprised I didn't go like turn around and go the wrong way.
Not yet. You're not that lost yet. Seregios, what are you doing as you guys slowly make your way down this passageway? This particular passage, by the way, is a little bit narrower than the central one. It's only about 10 feet wide.
Isn't Kadok supposed to be ahead of me because he's supposed to be lighting the way for Goat?
You have a torch too, do you not? I'm pretty sure Seregios has a torch.
I do, but the idea was that we were keeping him in the middle of us.
Oh, I don't remember that. My apologies.
Yeah.
I will rearrange.
Yay! The Mighty Mage failed. Woo! Now we can definitely call this fail, PG.
You make it sound like I don't fail on a regular basis when dealing with you guys.
Yeah, so it's funny. I've actually been, because of editing again, I've been seeing a bunch of stuff on playback being said left and right, and I was like, oh, this is contradicting that episode. Why have I never picked up on this before?
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. Which camera was that you were holding?
Oh, I still have not tested this camera. I just finally got up here. Remember, because I was sick, so I never got a chance to actually test this thing yet.
Oh, the more reason for you to have tested it while you were sick.
No, I don't like touching stuff. I stayed away from everything.
You know, like all viruses, they do die.
Yeah, the lifetime on surfaces is usually on the order of hours.
Yeah.
I don't trust Charlie Roman.
You better get some lights on.
I got microbang. No, shut up.
So, Seregios, you're bringing up the rear of your little mini party here as you guys slowly make your way up the passageway. You notice Noel looking around, but he seems to be a little bit oblivious. What are you doing?
First, I'm gonna call to Kadok and tell him to maybe give his torch to Noel so Noel can see better.
Noel's hands are full and he can't take any torches.
Told ya.
Oh, that's right, because he's still walking out with his spear and shield.
That is kind of why you wanted him to take point, no?
Yeah.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell him to try to see. Okay, is the passageway spacious enough that he could get on the side of Noel?
Yes.
Or is it as it's represented?
It's 10 feet wide.
Okay, then I'm gonna tell him to walk side by side with Noel to help express more light out front, so Noel can see better.
How about kind of like I'm slightly ahead, but you're on the side, kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And because of the idea that I am in the rear, but I'm also holding a torch at the same time, I'm going to pull out my trusted dagger that I've been holding on to that I never use.
Okay.
For situations like this, it is useful. Even though it's not my dagger, I'm pretty sure I took that off somebody when I killed them. But that's besides the point, right, guys? That's besides the point.
All right.
So you guys talking about somebody's dagger. Jeez.
You guys group together a little bit more tightly with Noel and Kadok in the front, leading the way. Cadoc's torch brightens the path a little bit more, so you are able to see a little bit further ahead.
Excellent.
Roll a perception check.
I'm assuming that's for both of us.
Yeah, I would say Noel, go ahead and roll for perception as well.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, nice! I got another chance. Nice. Okay.
Oh, first of all, I rolled the wrong dice. That'd be a reason. Okay, there we go. That
got
makes
a 10
better
this
sense.
time.
I got a 6.
Okay. Noel, as you continue down the passage, you notice that the floor starts to feel uneven. And as you look down, you see that the flat slate stone that was under your feet moments before has been completely covered with a twisting carpet of those really dark roots that you noticed on the exterior of the building. They're snaking their way crisscross across the floor, completely covering the stone underneath.
Yeah, I say I got an idea. Hey, somebody light this root on fire.
Now I have to roll for that to see if somebody actually does. Give me a second.
I mean,
Haddock glances at you, Noel, and kind of without thinking about it, lowers his torch down and touches it to the roots. He holds it there for a moment, and you see some smoke trailing upward. Nothing really appears to happen, although it starts to fill the part of the passageway you're in with some rather acrid-smelling smoke.
Oh, so it can't even light on fire. Okay. Hey, I'm like, ooh, wow, this is not natural. What wood doesn't light on fire? Even if it was very moist. But I mean,
Caddock takes the torch away and inspects the roots, and it's hard to see whether there is even a burn mark on them because they're so dark.
Sir Regios is actually going to take a closer look at one of the roots, and he's going to take the rusted knife that he has, and he's going to try to cut one of the roots and actually pick it up from the ground.
Interesting. Roll a 12 side for strength.
6 plus, you said strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 6 plus 4, that's 10.
You kneel down and start slicing at one of these roots with your knife. You said it's a rusted dagger?
Yeah. According to what I have here, it says rusted dagger.
wait, your shovel's not sharpened on the edges?
It's a two-handed weapon.
I'm not using it. Yeah, I'm not using the shovel. I'm using the dagger because I'm holding the torch still.
Oh yeah. Oh. Is your shovel that big you can't one-hand it?
It wouldn't work very well.
I mean, I could try if the GM would allow me to be anime for 2 seconds, but
I mean,
it can't be that heavy. How do you wield it? I mean,
he uses 2 hands, right?
Kind of like a spear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a two-handed weapon. If you wanted to use it one-handed, I'd allow it, but you'd have disadvantage on every roll you made with it.
See?
Oh. You're not Gordon. You're not doing a little Gordon Liu thing. Swing right back.
No.
Apparently not.
So you kneel down there, Seregios, and you start slicing at one of the thicker roots in the hope of trying to pull it up. And for a moment, the blade doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. It's as if the root is made of like really strong leather or something, and the rusted blade isn't up to the task. But with a little bit of persistence, you eventually manage to cut into the material. And as soon as you break the surface, dark liquid begins oozing out around the cut that you're making. Roll 12 side.
Oof. That is a 4.
You keep slicing, and it takes you almost 30 seconds to get through one end of this hunk of root with this dark liquid oozing out as you're doing that. But you do eventually manage to sever the root completely on one end. You're going to have to cut another end. How big a piece are you going to try and pull up?
I'm not even trying to get that big of a piece, but now that I see this dark liquid coming through, I'm not even sure I want to cut the rest of the way. At this point, I kind of want to examine that.
All right. Give me a 12 side if you're going to examine it. Noel, you getting in on this action as you're watching him make a mess on the floor here? Or
I'm
are you
like,
keeping your eyes on the front?
I'm keeping my eyes on front. I was like, I hope you know what you're doing. That's what I said.
So that is a 7.
7. Are you gonna put the knife away? Gonna put it on the floor? What are you doing with it?
I'm gonna put the knife back inside of my my cloak, and I'm kind of gonna. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna use the tip of the knife because I don't know what this liquid is. I'm gonna use the tip of the knife to actually like stick it in the liquid and just get a little bit of a sample to look at it.
I mean, the blade is covered in it right now because you've been cutting.
It's covered in it.
Yeah, because you've been slicing this thing, so the liquid's all over it now.
Oh, screw it! I'll just take a look at the blade and I'll rip a small part of cloth off of my cloak and kind of wipe it off of the blade.
Okay.
Is it this black liquid? Is it thick? Is it like Sunny D?
It's very viscous and thick, gooey by the look of it.
Wow.
You would almost call it blood, but it's not red. It's just black. But it has that sort of consistency of thick blood. And as you wipe some of it off of the blade, you notice the rust is gone from where you wiped off the blade. Just gone.
Wow.
The metal underneath seems yellowed, tarnished.
I call this stuff fossil fuels. We're gonna be rich.
Suddenly, you feel something tightening around your left foot, Seregios. And as you look down, you see what appears to be one of the roots coiling itself around your foot before yanking violently towards the wall. Roll a 12 side for dexterity.
Oh, shit. And this is why I was so keen not to put the blade away right away. Okay, that's a 6. My dexterity is a +2, so 8.
Yeah, you managed to stay more or less on your feet, but the root, which you can now see is the one that you chopped up, which is wrapped around your foot, hauls you across the passageway and slams you into the wall. And you are now pinned by the ankle to the wall. More of these roots seem to be poking their way through the infinitesimally small joints in the brickwork and going down towards the floor, and you're now pressed against these little tiny roots.
How far away am I from the root that I cut that's pouring out this viscous black liquid?
It's wrapped around your ankle. That's what pulled you into the wall.
The same exact root.
Yeah, at the point where you severed it, it seems to have curled around your leg and then pulled you into the wall.
How close am I to the point where the cut is?
You mean what was left behind? That's
right.
More in the middle of the passageway. It doesn't appear to have moved.
Can
I
do something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I put my spear in my back real quick, and I pull out my elven scimitar, and I try to cut the vine that's wrapped around Sergio's leg real quick.
Okay. Give me a. We'll call this a 12 side for Dex.
Okay.
See if you can cut the root out his leg.
If he's successful in that, I'd like to roll to see if I can use what liquid sprays up at that point to set this root on fire.
Okay. So, Noel, you kind of hold Seregios back and then take a whack at the root. It is sufficiently exposed, you're able to cleave through it, and the elven scimitar is good and sharp and heavy, and it cleaves right through the root with no issue. The part that is wrapped around your leg, Seregios, immediately goes limp and slides off. The severed end of the root kind of flails wildly for a moment, spraying some of this black liquid. You touch your torch to it, Seregios, in an attempt to set it on fire, and it almost puts your torch out.
Oh, it's not flammable at all.
Well, we've learned two things. This stuff gets rid of rust and tarnishes blades, and it's definitely not flammable.
After a moment, the severed root stops flailing about and sort of relaxes back against the wall. There appears to be no other movement in the passageway. Stryker,
Yes.
you guys have advanced a little ways down the passage by this point. And so you don't hear this commotion that's going on down the hall. What are all y'all doing?
We're just walking. I'm keeping an eye out. Sword ready just in case. Sorry. Ooh.
All right. Ronnie, what about you?
So the only person in our group right now with a torch is Gaddock, right?
No.
Stryker has one as well.
Okay.
He's one-handing a short sword.
Oh, okay. So that means we're getting a bit of illumination, not. Okay.
I'm just keeping an eye out. Looking around just to make sure, see if I see anything, specific that might jump out to me.
All right, give me a 12 side. Perception.
Hey, natty 12, baby.
Natty 12. All right. Looking around with your sharp hunter's eyes, you see that the stonework in here appears to be identical to the exterior of the building. And, still moisture slicked, still humid. You notice here and there the roots that crisscross the floor, very similar to the roots that you saw outside the building that had broken through the stonework in some places.
I'm like, I don't think we want to touch those, but if we don't find nothing, I'll come back and mess with the roots.
They don't appear to completely cover the floor in this area. They seem to be a little bit thinner.
Okay, so I'm going.
There's an intersection up ahead. Actually, no, not an intersection. A 90-degree turn. Look at that.
So when we get to it, before we turn, I want to perception, or use my hunter ability, I guess, perception of it. See if I can
pick up on the tracks.
Yeah, any disturbance, any little, see if the tracks kind of act a little more funny going this way.
So with the 12 side that you rolled earlier on perception, I'll say that you've been keeping an eye on the dust on the pathway, and it still seems to have that disturbed quality to it, like something or someone walked through at some point in the not too distant past.
Would there be, no, because the walls are kind of moisture. I was gonna say, would there be like dust on the walls? But if it's kind of like moisture type of thing, then probably not.
Not really.
There we go. Finally got it.
Ronnie's actually going to run her hand across one of the walls because of all this moisture that she's seeing. It doesn't make sense to her.
Okay. You brush a hand across the wall. The wall feels unusually warm to you, just like the walls did outside. And your hand comes away lightly damp, not dripping wet, but lightly damp. There doesn't seem to be anything odd about the moisture on your hand.
Ronnie thinks for a moment. She starts thinking about things that she's seen in her travels. And then she thinks the only thing that maybe could be causing this may be a geyser. But that doesn't make any sense, because why would you build a structure around a geyser? And how would the geyser have not brought this whole thing down over time? So she just starts thinking of things that could cause this weird moisture yet heat buildup at the same time, and nothing else is clicking for some reason. She's just like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Nothing makes sense around here.
Nothing even matters.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, no, you're right.
So, Striker, as you round this corner, Gadok steps up a little bit closer behind you and puts a hand on your shoulder. What do you think we're going to find in here?
I go. If I think where we're at, we might find the thing we need and get out.
She glances around, back at Ronnie, and then whispers to you. And ditch the broad, I hope.
Oh, you're such a bad girl. All right, let's go. Let's continue walking.
You guys round this corner, and you can see up ahead what looks like 2 doorways in the passage. Fairly narrow. There aren't actually any doors in them. They're just openings in the walls.
I get close to the split off, but don't go directly in the middle.
Okay.
And I go, do we want to check these out? Or do we want to continue straight?
When he says that, Ronnie's gonna I'm gonna roll perception for Ronnie to see if there's any disturbances heading in either one of those directions or if it just keeps going straight.
Okay. Go outside.
I am not rolling great for perception today. 4.
4. Ronnie, you have not noticed the trails in the dust, lacking Striker's hunter's perception, and so the intersection doesn't look especially interesting. You don't see anything that particularly calls out to you that it needs to be investigated.
I guess I'll do it then. Time for my perception to see if any of the tracks went to either one of these doorways.
All right.
Here we go. I guess not, because that's a 1.
Yeah, in the gloom and with the layout of the floor at the moment, you can't really tell if the dust has been disturbed going through either of these doorways.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it was said right before we started recording that we were probably going to end up rolling like shit today because Goat here couldn't help but to play Hearthstone and got super giddy about a victory right before we started recording. And so far, it is paying in dividends for terrible perception rolls.
I go, God damn, you know. I go, you know what? I go, you know what? I can't tell if anybody went in or out. I think we should just continue straight. If we don't find anything, we can double back and look at them. But right now, let's continue straight.
Ronnie hears what you're saying and she takes a minute. She thinks about it. What if one of these rooms might contain something that could maybe actually help us figure out what this is or where we are or even where this thing is that we're supposed to be finding?
Gadok perks up a little bit.
Or has treasure. Old tombs and buildings like this usually have treasure.
And then Ronnie stops and thinks about it. It's like, I could use dragon scales if there's dragon scales here.
And I look, I could use a new sword. Y'all might convince me. Which one do y'all want to check first?
Ronnie immediately starts walking towards the room to the right, passes the both of you.
Okay.
You need a torch. Where are you going?
She doesn't have a torch. You know it's Ronnie. She doesn't care.
All right, Ronnie, you hastily move past the other two.
I grab her. I said, "Wait."
You're standing in the doorway. Striker's got a hand on your shoulder there. Ronnie, you peer into complete blackness.
I go, let me put the torch in there.
I guess you have a point. And then she gestures for him to go first.
I got my sword ready and the torch in my hand. I was like, just know, if I don't make it out of this, punch Soredios in the face. And I start walking in.
Even Gaddock grins at that.
It would be a pleasure.
I don't know what your guy's problem is with Sir Spaghettios. He seems like an okay guy.
And I look back at her and say, "This is why I love you." And I go in.
So, Striker, you step into the room and hold your torch up high. The room appears mostly empty. There are a number of stone tables and benches dotted around the room with some sort of dark lumps on their surfaces. But other than that, the room appears to be bare.
I'm gonna go in just a little bit more.
And Ronnie will follow behind him.
All right.
I go, get up, come on.
Very well. Don't leave me behind. I want treasure too.
I would never leave you behind.
Ronnie just rolls her eyes at the statement.
I'm like, what?
Oh, no need to be flirting right now. We're in the middle of something.
I'm not flirting. It's better that we're all together so that whatever comes, we can all fight it off. I can't protect both of y'all, or you can't protect both of us, or she can't protect... I can't protect both of y'all. You know... The room
So with
looks...
the three of you in the room, your torch and Gaddock's torch combined, you can illuminate the room pretty effectively. The room has about a dozen of those stone tables and benches laid out. And on top of them are what appear to be very ancient and very badly rusted tools, although you don't recognize what any of the tools might have been used for. They are strange in shape and design, and you can't imagine what their purpose might have been.
Ronnie's actually going to kind of walk through each of the tables and kind of study everything that's on the tables a little more closely.
All right, you just looking at them, you picking things up. What you doing?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Okay.
Picking some stuff up, looking at others.
Have you not read the stories? Don't disturb something.
Roll me a 12 side for perception.
Oh, Lord, no.
And it's another 4. God fucking damn it, Goat.
What? What happened? Because I won a match of,
Yeah, you ruined
Yeah.
everybody's luck.
See, the problem isn't that you won the match. The fact that you bragged to us about it before we started is what took away all the luck.
What do you mean? I can't celebrate my victories. What's going on?
No, we don't care about gluten-free stuff like that.
It's like, it's really big. I mean, it's like popular. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
So is people going around saying they have gluten allergies when they don't, but you don't see us doing it.
Ugh. Ronnie, you're walking through amongst the tables. You bend over and inspect a couple of them. You reach out to touch a particularly interesting looking contraption, and it crumbles into a pile of dust just at your slightest touch.
At that moment, Ronnie's eyes widen. And she just slowly turns her head and goes, "It was like that when we got here."
I go, what'd you do?
Nothing. And then she just keeps on going.
Gaddock just
Deciding
rolls
not
her
to touch
eyes
anything else.
and mutters,
Klutz. Barbarian klutz.
I go, oh, yeah. I said, okay. I go, try not to touch too much of everything.
And with that, Ronnie kind of continues her walk around the room, doing her best not to come in too much close contact with anything else.
Can
For
I
fear of it crumbling.
do a perception, see if anybody came this way?
You can try. Yeah, give me a 12.
If anybody came in, saw what we saw, and just left back out, pretty much. I got a 9.
Looking around, it's
Yeah.
a little harder to tell about the dust trails because Ronnie has started walking around the room and is stirring up some of the dust, but as far as you can tell, it doesn't look like anybody has been in this room in a very long time. You certainly don't see any recent evidence of disturbances, other than Ronnie going around and touching things she shouldn't touch.
They probably came to the door, looked in, and said, "You know what? Nah." Went to the other side.
There definitely doesn't appear to be anything of value in this room.
I said, "Okay. Hey, Ronnie, let's go check the other room."
Got it.
We'll come back to that in a moment. No, old buddy, old pal. Now that you guys have sort of beaten back the angry root and discovered its non-flammable properties, what y'all doing? The floor is crisscrossed with more of these roots for some distance in front of you, further down the passage. Although at the moment there does not appear to be any movement in the passageway.
Hey, I'm just asking. I cut it. Did the thick black stuff do anything to my elven scimitar?
Give me a 12 side for perception.
Okay. I got a 7.
7. So some of the black ooze did end up on the blade as you were cutting the root. Are you gonna try and wipe it off? Gonna leave it on?
I'm gonna leave it on.
Okay. Doesn't appear to have done anything, but you can't actually see the metal under the black liquid. It's completely opaque.
You know,
Wow.
Sir Regios is going to use that same piece of cloth that he used earlier and wipe off Noel's blade with that.
You gonna allow that, Noel?
I'm like, sure. I don't know if it's necessary.
All right, Seregios, you wipe the blade off with that piece of cloth, and wherever the black substance touched the blade, it appears to have left the metal yellow tinged.
I'm like, oh wow. Hey, this kind of matches the elven
The armor aesthetic?
yeah.
A little bit, yeah, it does, a little bit.
He looks at you. The metal's being tainted in some weird way. I'm not quite sure in what way, but we should be more careful with these things. If we don't have to touch them, let's not.
And I do a little flick to the sword, and I hear the sound. Maybe like, sounds the same to me. Goes,
Give me a 12 side. Give me a 12
Alright.
side.
Roll for that. Okay. I got a 3.
It does sound the same to you as it always has.
Okay.
Kadok eyes the roots and the spreading pool of black goo warily, and mutters,
I think we should be moving on, either backwards or forwards, but let's not linger here.
Agreed. And as soon as he says that, Sir Reggio starts looking at the walls to see if maybe there's a way that they can move using the walls as opposed to walking straight on the ground. Because at this point, all he can see is these roots.
So, roll me a 12.
Already on it. Hey, we got a 10 that time.
All right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Ashimimash.
Except for the occasional very thin root poking out from between cracks in adjacent stone blocks, the wall is completely flat and smooth. There are no handholds, no footholds, nothing that you could use to climb, and the roots that are poking out between the blocks are too small and frail to support any weight or get a handhold on. They join with the floor apparently seamlessly, without any kind of like trim piece or running board or anything like that. It's just straight vertical line to the floor, where the roots are much more thickly spread. It's the same immaculate stonework that you saw on the exterior of the building.
I guess let's get moving.
All right. Noel, are you going back in the lead?
Yeah, I'm going back to lean.
All right.
Oh, that far? Oh, you're adjusting everybody. Never mind.
Yeah, this takes a moment. So as you guys are walking down, Noel, are you doing anything special, or are you just keeping an eye out?
Can I do another perception check? Or
Of course.
no? Alright. Let me roll for it.
What you looking for? Anything in particular?
Oh, same thing I was looking for last time. Making like see if it leads to anything. You know what? I'm like, I try to, I see if the roots have like a you know, have a source that I could just follow it to.
Okay. What'd you get?
1 second, let me roll. Ooh, I got 11. Ooh,
11.
Nice roll.
Nice.
The walls are unblemished. There's definitely no writing or inscriptions or anything that might give you an idea where you are, where you're going. The roots, on the other hand, are a little bit more telling. Although they crisscross back and forth across the floor many times, and they're generally a tangled knot, you start to notice as you're walking down the passageway that there's a pattern to it. And as you study for a few paces, you realize that, for the most part, the roots seem to be running along the passageway. They're not going, like, up through the floor or down from the walls. They seem to have almost grown down the passageway. And they seem to be getting a little bit thicker as you go down the passageway.
Sorry about that. I heard my laundry go off, and I wanted to double check to see if it was actually dry or not.
You missed all that huge exposition I just gave, so you're going to be wandering around in the dark now.
How's that different from any other day?
Exactly.
True.
Noel, I will say that you do notice here and there, as you guys are walking down the passage, small cracks in the stonework at the floor level on either side of the passageway, where roots either emerge or disappear into, almost like they forced their way through the stone. But it's not everywhere, it's only here and there.
Okay, I say, let's follow the places where it's sticking out. Like it's like, where it's sticking out the wall. Like let's use that as a path. Even though we're still going straight, but if we ever get into a branching path, we could just use that as a clue.
Works for me.
All right. Look, everybody's in agreement. All right, let's go.
Makes sense. Something's wrong.
It's like a white guy in a horror movie.
So
Wait.
funny and yet so true.
Wait, you know what the weird part is? You say that, but usually Mikey's the white guy in a horror movie, but he's also usually the killer as well. So I'm not really sure how that works.
Shh, just let it happen. Just let it happen.
If you insist.
You guys wander along a little bit further and you see up ahead a 90-degree bend in the corridor, now going northward.
Well, I guess this is our only route, so I keep going.
Alright, keep going. He rounds the corner, and there standing before him is a hideous monster, and eats everybody. The end.
Yay! Finally. I mean, what? As the monster starts eating Noel, Sergio's pushes Kadok into the monster and then runs.
No, traitor! I knew you would betray us.
I only did it because I knew you were going to do the same to me. Bye!
Shame, shame, shame.
Alright, you guys round the corner and form back up into your little formation. Peering ahead, Noel, you can see a gap in the stonework on the left-hand side, possibly a doorway.
What does the roots say? What does the roots lead to?
You can see the roots in a tight bundle, very thick, running along the wall on the left-hand side and going into the apparent gap in the wall ahead of you.
Well, I guess that's where we're going, gang.
Noel's following the roots. Y'all following behind him?
I like the silence. Look at the ponder. Look at
Yep. Oh, thinking about it. Don't hurt yourself over there.
No, so he basically looks at Kadok and goes, go on ahead with him. I'll catch up in a moment. And
Kadok looks at you very suspiciously, but after a moment falls in behind Noel.
yeah. And Sir Regios is actually going to walk past them.
Past them, okay.
Yes, he's going to go a little bit further up.
Alright. About like yay?
Yeah, that's about right.
Alright. Regios, you can see the corridor continues quite a bit further to the north before your torchlight gutters out, and you can't see any further than that. Noel, standing in this gap in the stonework, it's very clearly a doorway, although there isn't actually a door there separating this room. The roots flow across the floor into the darkness of this room, seeming to get thicker and thicker as they go.
I'm like, oh, nice. And I start like, I'm like, all right, well, I guess, unless we run out, I guess this is the only way we're going. But I'm more on guard this time. I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen.
Kadok looks at you sidelong. It's like, you're not thinking of going in there, are you?
I mean, if you want to be a wuss, I mean, you can if you want to. But if you ever feel like you got a pair of wayhos, come join me.
What? Wayho?
How far away is Sir Regios? Because I just want to know if he hears the word Wayhos.
Oh yeah, you hear all of that.
Oh, okay.
You hear all that.
So Sir Regios just kind of turns his head back and looks towards them and goes, Wayhos?
Hey, look, slang doesn't come up from nowhere. Somebody has to make it up. I'm just testing the waters.
Kadok rolls his eyes in an epic fashion and begrudgingly follows you in, Noel. Sir Regios, you're now standing alone in the passageway. You gonna continue on? You gonna hang out here? You gonna go follow Noel?
Sir Regios is going to... He's going to explore just a little bit further, but not too much further.
Well, Noel, as far as you can tell, so far, this seems to be a very large room. Your torchlight, or rather Kadok's torchlight, only covers a fairly small area. As far as you can tell, the room appears to be empty so far, except for the roots, which are so thick on the floor that you cannot actually see the stone underneath anywhere within your torchlight's visibility.
Nice!
You can move further
close.
into the room.
Sorry.
To see if you can see the corners of the room.
I'm like, oh, nice. We're gonna meet a nice tentacle monster. You ready for this?
So...
Kadok looks at you like,
You're not serious. You're really not serious, right?
I mean, look at it. Try to grab Sir Reginald. We gotta. Come on. Let's be honest.
I didn't sign up for tentacle monsters.
So, Sir Mage, as this conversation is going on,
yeah.
Sir Regios is actually going to... Well, yeah, that's right, because we never resolved this part, so I need to see what's going on ahead before I make this final decision on what I want to do here.
You notice another curve in the passageway up ahead.
Perfect. Okay. So Regios is going to leave his torch, and he's going to slowly come back just about to the corner of where the doorway starts.
So about here-ish.
Yes.
All
right there.
All right, leaving the torch and walking back. Noel, are you going further in?
Yeah, I'm going further in.
Oh, he's going deeper. I hope you used lube.
What is this lube you speak of?
Your
Ask
wife
your
will
wife.
know.
He's like, I don't know what you mean by that, huh?
Beautiful.
Kadok, very reluctantly and trailing somewhat further behind, follows you, Noel. Torch held high, and you can see now that he's got one of his daggers out. He has a mace, you recall, but that wouldn't be much good against roots. You can see a little bit more of the room, and as the torchlight climbs higher and encroaches further into the room, you see something shiny and glinting in the corner. And as you step a little bit closer, you notice what looks like a pile, of gold, just laying on the floor in the corner of the room.
I mean, hey, do you see that?
Kadok's eyes have gone really wide. Although he doesn't answer you immediately, he's fixated on this pile of gold, and you think you can see his mouth water.
I grab him by the shoulder and I start shaking him. I'm like, do you see that?
I see it.
Answer me. All right.
It's not I'm not imagining it, right?
I see it too.
That's enough gold to make us both kings.
I think it's, you know what? Listen, I'm broke, and something inside me wants me to run towards it like an idiot, but I think it's too good to be true. Let's be cautious about this.
Roll a 12 side for persuasion.
Okay. Uh-oh, if I don't persuade him... Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh, I got a 2. Uh-oh. I hope he doesn't die.
I hope he does. Because if he doesn't, then I have to enact my plan.
Drooling a little bit with anticipation of the wealth that he's about to inherit, Kadok seems to completely ignore your cautionary tale and dashes forward towards the pile of gold.
Wait. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah?
While he's dashing, I trip him. I put my foot out and I trip him.
No.
No, we tried to kill him.
Oh, no. You put your foot out, and it catches him, and he falls forward with a quiet yelp and face plants into the floor.
And I'm like, hey, don't run in there like an idiot.
After a
trying to have him
moment,
die.
you see him starting to thrash about and shout and scream as the roots seem to move towards him as a mass, tendrils everywhere, grabbing hold of arms and legs and
I start
wrapping around
cutting
him.
him up. And I start hacking at
No.
it with the scimitar.
No.
Yes? What?
Look towards the doorway.
Yeah, I see the doorway. Yeah.
Look towards the doorway. Now
Yeah.
start walking.
Get off of me! Get them off! Get them off!
Promise not to kill Stryker.
Oh man, it's like Noel's not that type of guy. He's like he tries to hack the things off.
You're gonna try and hack him off?
I put my shield in my back and I kind of dual wield my cutlass, my D20 cutlass and my elven scimitar. I start hacking.
All right. You don't have the dual wielding feat, I don't believe. So, you're not. I'm not gonna be able to let you do that one, unfortunately.
Ah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I got dual wielding.
That's not true.
But I will say,
wait.
roll 12 side for dexterity
Okay.
first. Hacking at the roots.
Oh come on. I got a 1.
Oh God! Oh no!
Well, he's dead. Alright.
Shit, that's awesome. You try to hack at the roots, but Kadok is squirming and writhing around so much as he's fighting them that you accidentally strike his leg instead. What's the attack damage on your scimitar? Let's see, a 1d6?
Yeah.
1d6 plus 1.
Oh man.
7.
Yep. So you haul back and land a blow at what you thought was a root, but it turned out to be Kadok's leg, and you can feel the blade sink into his flesh, and he screams all the more wildly, "Ah! What are you doing? Ah!"
Oh no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Now, no, look at the door.
So Regios is now going to slowly kind of peek his head around the corner and take a look at the roots near the door to see if there's any movement from them at all.
Give me a 12 side.
Finally, a 10.
As far as you can
Perception
tell,
curse broken.
the only roots that are moving are the ones trying to consume Kadok. One other thing that you note as you're peering into the room is the torch. He dropped his torch when he fell flat on his face, and the torch itself is slowly being consumed by these roots. You figure it'll be maybe a minute before the roots have ensconced this torch and snuffed it out.
Sir Regios makes a hasty decision. He runs to the doorway and yells to Noel to get out of there now before it's too late.
Well, Noel, what you doing?
Kadok
Kadok is still flailing about. Oh, get them off! Please don't leave me here! I don't want to die like this! Not like this! Ah!
I'm sorry. Shit. I do one more chance to hack the. I two-hand the Elven scimitar and try and hack.
While he's doing that, Sir Regios is going back for his torchlight.
Okay, alright, you're gonna go back for the torch. Noel, give me a 12 side for Dex.
Oh boy, dang. Oh man, I'm doing terrible rolls. That's a 4.
A 4. Well, at least this time you don't hack his leg, but you slash one of the roots. It slices cleanly through. More of the black liquid begins to ooze out of the severed one, but it just advances further and rewraps itself around Kadok's limb. You don't really seem to have stopped or slowed the mass at all. You can see that Kadok is wildly flinging his knife hand around trying to cut at the vines, but he doesn't have a good angle, and so he's only able to score them a little bit here and there.
Kadok, relax.
Have I gotten back with the torch yet?
You've just retrieved the torch, and you're getting back to the doorway just as Noel is finished attempting to slash at the roots again.
I literally just stand right in the doorway, torch up. Noel, hurry, you're about to lose light.
And I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry, man. I'll avenge you, and I run away
No, don't leave me here! No, don't leave me!
Thirst for gold got you killed.
So, once Noel comes out of the room, I'm gonna hand Noel the torchlight and tell him to take a walk up the hallway. I'll deal with the rest of this.
Oh.
Okay, alright. Noel, you gonna comply with that?
Alright, fine. Good luck saving the guy.
Oh, don't worry. And Sir Regios is going to walk into the room at a very brisk pace and walk straight up to Kadok.
Sergius, is that you? Get me out of these things, please. I don't want to die like this. Not like this.
You're right. This would be a sad way to go.
And he actually pauses in his writhing for a moment to look at you, and slow recognition begins to dawn in his eyes.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Even you aren't that low.
I'm sorry. But there's two things you don't mess with. My money, my life. And with that, Sir Regios plunges that rusted dagger into Kadok's throat.
All right. This is a 20 side since you're attacking him, but you've got advantage since he's prone and bound up.
First one's a 19.
That's good enough.
And the second was a 16, so he was dying no matter what. The game said it was to happen.
Yep.
Wow.
And
what a way to go.
And just so you know, he has an attack modifier of 5. No,
Yeah.
This was happening no matter
it was
what.
happening no matter what. Roll I think it's a 6 side for your dagger.
Yes. No.
4 side.
4 side.
4 side for your dagger.
I guess.
It's 4 side plus 4.
You said plus 4? I have plus 1. 4 side plus 1.
I'm not sure
Is
where
that
your plus 1
inaccurate?
is coming from. You've got a plus 4 damage modifier on SourceU. That's just general based on your strength and your class.
Okay. And that is a 2
So 6
plus
total.
4, so 6 total.
All right. So that puts Kadok down pretty low. You plunge the dagger into him. You're aiming for the throat, but because of the massive vines and the fact that he's back to struggling again, you don't quite hit the throat. You do, however, feel the dagger sink into his flesh somewhere, satisfyingly all the way down to the hilt. But in the process, you also hear and feel a metallic clink from the dagger. And when you pull it away, you notice that the blade is gone. It's just the bare hilt in your hand.
Interesting. Well then, my old friend. Good luck. And with that, he pulls out his shovel and cracks Gadok in the head.
All right, give me another 20 side. He's too busy tied up in the vines and can't do anything except gurgle at you.
Oh, this is perfect.
You did it, didn't you?
I did it. 20! The concussion shot heard around the world, ladies and gentlemen.
So how do you want to do this?
So just before I start this description, like where compared to where the roots are around his body and where his head is.
If you want to stand next to his head, you can. I'm not sure what you're asking.
No, so what I'm asking is like the roots around his body, are they anywhere like actually around his head yet or no?
Oh yeah, they're like all over him. He's half covered in these roots that are trying to secure him to the floor.
Okay.
You can still
So-
see his face, but like there are vines crisscrossing it as they're trying to pull him down.
Okay. Oh, like crisscrossing.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh,
all
that's
over
perfect
him.
then. Okay, that's perfect then. So, as he's gargling and whatnot, Sergio says, "You're making just a little too much noise for a dead man," and slowly pulls out his shovel. He turns it upright, grips it, and as if he was saying a prayer on it, he holds it for a moment and looks at Kadok one last time.
Whose eyes sort
Goodbye.
of bulge out of his skull.
"Good night, sweet prince." And then he winds back and cracks Gadok in the top of the skull.
Yep. I'm not even going to ask you to roll for that. That's you've got so much damage on that thing, it's ridiculous, and he's not in good shape.
And with that, Sir Regios puts his shovel back in its holster slot and then walks out of the room at a
Alright.
very brisk pace.
You walk out of the room just as the torch is being consumed by the vines, and the room is absorbed into darkness, leaving the stilled body of Kadok slowly being encapsulated by roots, and the tempting pile of gold behind. Noel, you heard the screaming echoing down the hall, and then you heard the screaming abruptly cut off. And then you see, excuse me.
Yeah,
You
you see
s-
that's you.
You see a chew. You see Sergios emerging from the gloom of the chamber as the light from within the chamber fades out.
I'm like, what happened?
I was unable to save him. However, We still have a job to do. Let's move forward.
I rub my chin like,
And then Sergio's puts his hand on Noel's shoulder and just leans in. Let's not think about it more than that, huh? And
All right.
he takes the torch from Noel and then says, well, get your shield and spear out, please.
All right. How about spear and how about my shield and my scimitar? Because spear, I think we have to hack instead of, stab.
If you think it would help better.
Seregios, gain 50 points experience from that encounter. And Noel, I suppose you should as well, since you helped to ensure Kadok's demise. 50 XP for you.
I mean, I can't take all the credit on this one.
I try to help him.
Oh yeah, you try to help him, right?
You helped him straight to his grave like you were supposed to, like a good boy. You did the right thing.
Yeah. I guess I shouldn't be helping people.
No. You did the right thing.
This time you did the right thing.
You did the
Okay.
right thing.
Well, wait, how many points did I get?
50.
I mean,
50.
oh god.
Oh, I forgot to take off my shoes.
Noel's help in this game is just as dangerous as no help at all, maybe worse. Striker, we're back to you.
All right, so yeah, we're going to start heading to the other side of the room.
Okay. You guys head across the hallway to the other room.
I go halfway, part way, but don't go all the way in yet, just so I can see.
You see, lifting your torch high, some more of those vines crisscrossing the floor, here and there, not very thickly, and a gleam of something shiny in the northwest corner.
I go, no, that can't be. Hey guys, come here.
So Kadok slips in just behind you in the doorway, kind of peeking over your shoulder.
What is it? I can't see anything.
I go in just a little bit and step to the side. It's like, you see that?
She steps in after you, and her eyes get real big.
I do. I'm not imagining it, am I?
No. Ronnie, come see this a little bit.
Ronnie walks in, and as she's walking in, something tells her to pull her axe out just in case.
All right, you come in with the axe ready, and you see now with the torchlight of both Stryker and Gadok, you can see what looks like a decently sized pile of gold in the corner of the room.
Ronnie looks at Stryker and looks at Gadok. You two can't be thinking of doing what I think you're thinking of doing right this second.
I'm like, I kind of want to, but...
It seems too easy, right?
Right. Get out. What you done?
And she's kind of wide-eyed and drooling a little bit, and you're pretty sure that she isn't thinking about anything right now.
I'm like, Gadok, if you want it, go get it.
She doesn't even really seem to wait for your suggestion. No sooner are the words out of your mouth that she's walking towards the gold almost in a trance. And she crosses the floor and sinks down at the corner of the pile of gold, and then just starts shoveling heaps of what appear to be coins into the pockets of her robe.
I'm like, all right, Gadok, now bring some back, and then we're just going to keep a train. Like, Ronnie, you stand here, I stand right here.
Ronnie goes, I don't want to touch it.
Gadok pays absolutely zero attention to you, Stryker, and just keeps shoveling the gold into the pockets of her robe.
Ronnie's now looking down at the ground, looking for like a rock or something to kick.
Roll a 12 side.
While she's doing that, I'm like, it can't be this easy, can it? It really can't.
Oh man, it really is broken now. We rolled a 9, baby.
You scour about in the room for a rock, and you spy something off to your left a little bit towards the southern end of the room. That's kind of pale and white. That might be a rock. You walk a little bit further into the room. You pick it up, and you see that it looks like a fragment of bone.
Ronnie puts it back down, right where she found it, and walks up to Stryker as calmly as possible, grabs him by his arm, and pulls him out of the room.
And since she's stronger than me, I'll let her do it.
All right, Ronnie. You pull Stryker out of the room.
I go, like, what's going on? What's wrong?
Bone fragments in the corner back there. Something's not right here.
And I go, get up. You coming out?
Almost. I think I can fit a few more. Where are you
Don't
going?
be-
Why aren't
don't-
you getting in on any of this? We can carry out more
Come on.
together.
No, come on. You need to come on.
I almost have enough. Just a little more.
But get.
Ronnie just looks at Stryker. Stay here. Get your bow and arrow ready just in case. I'll get her out.
Forget a bow. Okay. I set the torch right there just between the doorway so I can have a good sight with light and everything. And I pull out my bow and I'm like, all right.
So Ronnie's gonna holster her battle axe and go with the hand axe just in case things get ugly. And she's going to, right up on her. All right, princess, that's enough. It's time to go. And she's going to forcibly grab her by the shoulders and pull her up.
All right. See how we want to do this. As you're walking into the room, you glance around again and you see that you hadn't really noticed before, but there wasn't just the one small pile of bone fragments that you saw and picked up. There are bones throughout the room, littered all over the floor. In some of the corners, they're piled 4, 5, 6 feet high. Just piles of bones. You stride quickly up to Gadok and grab her by the shoulders and hoist her up. She's a lot heavier now. Her pockets jingle loudly with the sound of gold coins in them. But she does stand. And with a childish grin, like a kid who broke into a candy shop, just turns and looks at you.
We're rich. This is great. I'll never have to work another job again.
Yeah, that's great. It's time to go right now.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? I think we could grab a few more.
Are you this daft? Have you not looked around yourself?
What else is there to look at aside from the? Okay, yeah. Let's go.
And Ronnie just begins to just move as fast as she can without starting to run.
Both of you exit the room promptly and spill back out into the hall almost at a run, bumping into Stryker as you go.
Ugh. God, how much coins do you got in your on you? Jesus, I don't even know where would you put them all. You know what?
Pockets.
But you don't look like it does it. Okay.
How many of your tools did you dump out just to put the gold in?
She glances back into the room. Her torch is still on the floor where she had dropped it next to the pile of gold, along with what looks like a tinderbox and a couple of daggers and something that looks suspiciously like a set of throwing stars.
Go in there, at the very least, pick up the torch and the dagger.
Like, drop the coins, so that way you can move a little bit faster.
No, I'm not dropping these. I'll be set for a lifetime with this much gold.
Whatever. Just go get the stuff.
Begrudgingly, she walks back into the room, clinking loudly as she goes, scoops up the torch, her dagger, and then a couple of the throwing stars she tucks into her belt in various places, and then stalks back out of the room, still clinking noisily as she goes. Nothing happens.
Are we gonna hear all this noise while we walk?
It's worth it. Don't worry. We haven't encountered anything so far. I think this place is dead. Most tombs are. Isn't this a tomb? Doesn't it look like a tomb?
Actually,
I don't know what this place is.
it looks like a place where people used to live, but hey, we'll find out later. Let's go. Let's go.
She looks at the two of you like you're both stark raving mad, that you could pass up this enormous pile of gold, but after a moment she shakes her head and says,
Fine, let's go. Lead on, oh great and magnificent warrior.
and she gestures with an unreasonable flourish to you, Stryker.
Wait, look, if we have time, I'll come back and get some gold. Right now, I just want to go lightly so that way we can move quicker and get out of here quicker. So.
Don't worry about me. I'll keep up just fine.
Okay.
In that case, you're taking lead. Go.
Me? Fine.
Grumbles indistinctly under her breath, but moves to the front of your little group there. Which one of you is following after her?
Stryker is, and Ronnie will continue to take up the rear as she has been.
All right.
Dear Lord. With the little clink, 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 clink walking down.
And the first thing Ronnie says to Stryker as they begin moving again is, if something happens, I'm pulling you back.
And I go, oh, I know. I'm not getting that close to her.
Gaddock turns over her shoulder.
I can hear you, you know.
Hey, you're the
Ronnie
one that wanted...
Ronnie just goes, good. I'm glad you hear me.
I'm like, and you the one ching-a-ling like a freaking bell.
It's not that loud.
She mutters as the clinking sound of the coins echoes off the walls.
I'm actually surprised I went through that previous encounter without being scathed.
Yeah, the vines, the roots seem to be much more interested in Kadok than in you.
Oh, okay.
And I think on our side, the vines.
I think I actually get how the roots work. Is the weird part.
Mm-hmm. Plus, on our side, the vines are not that thick. There's more on y'all side, on the other side. So that would make more sense.
No, something tells me that's about to be changing soon.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, y'all are continuing to advance deeper into the structure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
So, honest feedback while I'm positioning things. What I'm doing with the map and the fog of war stuff. You like that? Do you dislike that?
Yeah, I like us seeing everything.
I like this. I like this.
Yeah, it's like some.
I mean, Mikey, this is literally like me playing Baldur's Gate all over again, or playing a Dynasty Warriors game. Of course, this doesn't bother me one bit. If anything, all it's making me wonder is I wonder what part of the map I can unlock next. Can I unlock the entire map before I'm finished? That's where my mind is usually.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the format. So, Noel, you make the left turn, and you see the corridor stretching out before you, and you see what looks like another somewhat narrower gap in the wall on the right-hand side up ahead. Probably another doorway.
I decided to go straight this time.
Straight this time. All right.
At this point, Sir Regios is holding the only torch, so he's going to stick with Noel on this. But he is making a mental note of that pathway.
You guys walk by. Reggio says, you guys are passing. You just sort of lift the torch a little bit higher to try and peer into this room as you're passing by. in the very small amount of light you're able to cast, you don't see anything of particular note or interest inside the room.
He kind of reaches out a hand to try to grab Noel by the shoulder and say, "Hold on a minute."
Noel, you gonna stop? You gonna keep going?
I look, I'm like, what's wrong?
Wait here just one moment. And
All right.
Sir Regios is going to advance into the room.
You want me to get your back, or you good?
He looks back at you. It's up to you.
Well, separating's not a good idea. I'll just follow you.
Very
All
well
right.
then.
So the two of you cautiously step into this room. Regios hefting the torch a little bit higher. And you see several somethings glinting in the torchlight, as well as a few of the black roots snaking across the floor, although they're not nearly as thick in this room as in the previous one.
Sir Regios is going to advance straight a little bit and hold the torchlight up as high as he can, just to try to get a better angle to light the room.
All right. Guys, walk forward a little bit further. Noel, are you staying in the doorway, or are you sticking with Sir Regios?
I stick with Sir Regius.
Guys, advance further into the room. Oop, would help if I had the right selection here.
Mm-hmm.
And heft the torchlight higher, and you can see gleaming on the floor in a corner what looks like a two-handed sword and
Is that a bow?
a very nice looking bow. There are bones scattered throughout the room,
Ooh.
little bits and pieces here and there, and a small pile in the far corner. And the roots wending their way through the room thinly, just little cords of them here and there, not completely covering the floor.
If you tread lightly, y'all can get both of those things, right?
I knew you would say that.
It's a bow. Shut up.
Regios takes a look around the room, notices the bone piles. The roots, you said they're thin. So they're not the ones that we've been dealing with so far at the beginning, with the thick roots that were coming up and trying to kill me.
So individual roots might be about yay thick, or even smaller than that. They seem to bunch together in small groupings that snake across the floor, but they're not spread out covering the entire floor. There are plenty of patches where the stone is completely bare.
Gotcha. So Regios is looking towards where the weapons are. The roots, are the weapons sitting on top of the roots, or are the roots actually wrapping around these weapons any bit?
The couple of root bundles that the weapons are near, they appear to be laying on top of the root bundles, and the roots don't appear to be wrapped around or curled around them in any way.
You want? And I asked Regius, like, you want to go for him? I got your back. Be careful.
He looks back at you. No. We'll come back when we have Stryker and Ronnie with us.
You know what? I agree. Like, let's get out of here.
Yes.
Let's blow this popsicle stand.
Popsicle stand. What is a popsicle?
Yeah, actually, Sir Reggio stops and goes, "Popsicle?"
Well, I heard Rich King get, blocks of ice from the mountains, and they make this flavored fruity thing with the ice, and it hurts really good.
Actually, I can actually see
I
that.
love Noel's lore drops. I just love them.
I can actually see that, though.
Sergio stops to think about this for a moment, and perhaps one of these days, if things go well, I'll find a place that makes these popsicles, you say?
Yeah, that's what I call them. They gave us something uncreative, like flavored ice sticks. I was like, that's lame.
Flavored ice sticks.
I suppose popsicle does have a better sound to it.
And this is how and this is how popsicles were made, ladies and gentlemen. No,
Shush! Don't teach people. We're not here to teach. They need to learn a book.
learn a book.
And nobles with real class, drizzle honey on them, make them.
I got a headache.
Oh, man.
What are y'all doing now? Are you gonna continue forward?
We're advancing for it. Yes.
Yeah, we're advancing for it.
Oh,
I
good
can't
lord.
sometimes. Oh man.
I feel like I turned red right now. Oh my god.
You did actually. You're quite red on my screen.
The Rich Life of Nobles and Kings, Volume 4.
I want to know how a brothel guard turned soldier knows about all of these things, man.
Well, working a brothel, we get all types of adventurers who want to have a little fun, and they tell me things.
Sure.
They tell him things.
So you don't have a secret life we don't know about.
You guys continue down the passageway for a length. This one appears to be quite long and straight, uninterrupted by rooms on either side.
Sir Regios just takes note of the roots that are coming through and just trying his best not to disturb them too heavy. Don't need any more incidents at this point.
Don't want to end up like poor Kadok. Poor Kadok.
Dang, man. He didn't even
Yes.
make it.
Poor Kadok.
Poor Kadok.
And Noel, as you advance forward, you come into what appears to be a large chamber. Hard to see, you're not quite there yet. You guys advancing further? Can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm advancing much closer, and I look at Regios. He's like, "Hey, you got my back, right?"
And he holds the torchlight up and like, I might have to throw this thing down in order to take a swing at anything, but I'll cover you as best I can.
All right, yeah, that's good enough.
All right, guys, cautiously creep into this chamber. The room opens up before you. Seregius, you loft the torch as high as you reasonably can. You can see an opening to the north and west, where it looks like the passageway might continue on, and another opening a little bit further to the north and east, but appearing to almost guard that opening is another mass of these roots. They seem to be spilling out of that opening to the northern side of the chamber, thick and heavy, completely covering the stonework.
Oh, that sounds like really good metal.
And now we're giving people a concert. Yeah, we do everything here.
We do.
He's like, "How do you make a lute sound like that?" He's like, "Man, it's the tune."
But Sir Regios is gonna kind of walk while following that that southern wall. He's gonna kind of just walk his way towards the eastern half a little bit, just to kind of see a little bit more of the area, see what's
About like yay?
about right. Yay.
Alright.
Oh, good. I didn't accidentally step on a vine doing that. I was kind of concerned about that for a second, believe it or not. Okay, so it is all just literally centered right there.
Right there. And Noel and Seregios, roll 12 sides for me.
All right.
7.
Ooh, I got 12.
Nice.
My luck
So-
come back.
As you guys sort of advance into this larger chamber, the first thing you notice is there doesn't appear to be any movement, there doesn't appear to be any furniture, anything in the room except for these roots on the ground. The second thing you notice is the smell. For some reason, this particular chamber smells of decay, rotting flesh, the smell of like way overripe fruit. It's not terribly strong, but it's definitely noticeable. Noel, you notice in particular there is now a sound besides the occasional dripping of water. It almost sounds like a light breeze or a breath of wind or something. And at first you're inclined to dismiss it, but as you listen a little bit longer, you notice it sounds kind of regular.
Do I know where it's coming from?
You
Do I
can't
hear
tell.
where-
It echoes all around the chamber, so you couldn't tell where it's coming from, and it's very faint.
Oh, so it's going. It's all over the place because of the echo. I go, hey, Regios, you hear that?
Regios, you strain to hear, but you don't hear anything. You notice the smell, but not any sound.
I noticed the smell of this place. And whatever that is has to be recent.
Hey, those weapons look really high end. You want to go out? You want to go back for them?
Again, not without backup.
All
We
right.
saw the bone pile in that room. And now we have this smell out here, which sounds like had to be recent, right? Like
Well,
whoever ventured in here definitely didn't make it out alive.
let's not go towards those routes. Let's try to find the others. Maybe we can intersect with them or something. Let's go left.
Agreed.
All right. You guys are gonna circle around the roots and continue following the passage westward. About like yay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Give us the evil overlord. Yes, there we go. That's what we want.
Yes, good. I'm sorry, I do not have Mr. Buttons with me today. But if I had Mr. Buttons with me, we would also have our evil little kitten to pet as well.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Buttons.
Yes, yes.
I shall tell Tor
Good.
that we mentioned his Mr. Buttons.
Yes, yes. Let Augmented Wolf be aware that we also mentioned Mr. Buttons.
I shall. If he ever hops on the game.
I
Actually,
mean, I'm assuming that now that he's back to work after surgery and everything, that he's just really busy.
yeah, I was gonna say since he's been off so for so long, he probably working his tail to death.
Poor guy.
Yeah, but
I really need him to get something better.
I'm surprised he's not a manager yet.
Ugh.
That's my whole thing.
Would you really want him to be there, though?
Hell no. But I'm just
Exactly.
surprised he's not a manager yet.
That's probably because he's purposely trying not to be one.
I don't blame him.
Management's overrated.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, you would know, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm happy I don't do it no more.
Mm-hmm. You guys, Stryker, Ronnie, you guys round a sort of S curve in the passageway, and suddenly the passage opens up before you into a larger chamber.
I go. Let's slowly go in. Keep your eyes open. Weapons ready.
You gonna keep
And-
Gaddock in front, or are you stepping in front of her?
Hell no, she's staying. She's going in front.
Ronnie switches from her hand axe back to the grave digger,
Mhm.
just because.
And while we walking in, I got my hand on Gaddock's shoulder. It's like, just in case.
You guys
I go
gingerly
back to
step
holding my
into the
stuff.
room and notice there are more of the vines and roots crisscrossing the floor in here. A little bit thicker than in some of the places you've seen so far. But they're also apparently hanging from the ceiling. Long, thin ropes coming down from the blackness of the ceiling far above that you can't see, looping in graceful arcs and then coiling back up to the ceiling. They seem to be hanging down all over the place in the room, in many places blocking the path forward.
I hold the torch up as much as possible, see if any more light can seep through. I go. There looks like a small path, but I don't want to chance it. And it only looks like it can take one person at a time.
Ronnie looks around and just goes, "Don't worry, I'll play anchor as per usual."
I go, get up. You want to take the lead?
Do I have a choice?
I mean, I could go.
I really would prefer that.
And I go, drop all the coins here, and I'll go first.
She shoots you a look that is like pure hatred for a moment, and then stiffens her back and begins advancing into the chamber, muttering under her breath about idiotic men.
But I'm trying to protect you. While she's walking away, I'm like, but I'm trying to. Okay.
Shut up and let me work.
All right.
She walks into the room and eyes the roots on the floor, eyes the vines that seem to be hanging from the ceiling.
Is there a path?
If by path you mean a place where there aren't any vines, yes. It's narrow. We'll have to go through single file. We might brush
Okay.
against some of these vines hanging from the ceiling.
Okay. Start going. I'm right behind you.
She turns and looks, and you're still at the doorway.
A little
Oh,
bit
okay.
closer, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I walk. I start walking. I say, go, go, go. I'm coming.
All right.
And
Once
I
you're within
slowly walk.
a reasonable distance of her, she turns around and begins slowly advancing down the pathway.
And I said, make sure you hold
Ronnie walks in, but for some reason she can't stop eyeing the ceiling.
I look back at Ronnie. I was like, go ahead, we got you. Come on. And I look at her like, I know. And I gave her the look like, I know.
It's just so bizarre. How?
Everybody roll 12 sides for dexterity as you're trying to step gingerly along this path.
So overall, Ronnie got a 7.
Overall, I got a 5.
Okay?
Really? Oh, god damn it.
What gad I'll get?
Better than you.
I don't share my rules most
Look,
of the time.
I'm not even in there yet, so that's one thing. I ain't even go in yet. So before we even do anything, I'm not going there. I'm looking at Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm like, come on, we gotta go. Oh, you gonna put me in there? You screw. I didn't even go in.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
no,
not
he
all
said
the way
he says we're not allowed to pussyfoot around this one.
You guys slowly advance. Are you following her? Are you following on the path? Or are you gonna do
yeah.
your own thing?
I'm looking at him like, nothing's happening yet. I mean, it might be okay. And I hold my my torch up just a little bit more to see if it'll help with Gadok's torch to see if it'll illuminate more.
You spy out of the corner of your eye an irregularity in the wall on the western side as you guys are walking.
I was like, looks like roots are coming from there.
Looking a little more closely at it, you can see that there is actually a rather large breach in the wall on the western side, and roots are twisting and twining their way through the rock and the stone. You can actually also see a little glimmer of light through that crack, possibly sunlight.
I was like, interesting. Mental note.
Riker, remember how outside it seemed like the roots were protruding from out of this place?
Yeah,
What if this is one of the openings?
could be. Mental note. Put a mental note in it. And we continue walking.
Everybody roll
Yeah.
for dex again.
Didn't do so well that time. That's a 6 overall.
I got an 8 this time.
Finish moving you, and then I'll roll for Garak. The only downside to using this mapping technique is I have to move each one of you individually.
You can't. There's not a way for you to select multiple layers at once.
No. Actually, I haven't tried.
Unless you're using.
Let's try that.
You try shift or.
It doesn't seem to be allowing it. No, my program doesn't let that happen.
Yep. I was gonna say sometimes shift will help you.
You guys advance a little bit further along the narrow trail, weaving around the vines that dangle from the ceiling.
Just being very careful.
Your torchlight illuminates a kind of haunting picture. It looks like something out of a horror story. It's very unsettling to watch how close some of these things come to you.
I'm like, okay, it looks like there's no more pathway.
The pathway does seem to narrow as you guys approach the southern wall. And Garak gets a little bit nervous and shifts her feet.
It's very tight up ahead. I don't know if I'll be able to fit through.
I was like, you know what? Let's circle around. Let's go back. I don't trust this. I feel, and I look at Ronnie, and I'm like, you feel it too, right? You feel something is off.
I don't know why, but I've been feeling it ever since we got here. And Ronnie looks at the path, and looks at Stryker, looks at Garak. See her for a second, just kind of look down. She starts going like this. And then suddenly, you just see her just full on hit herself right in the side of the head. Nuts of all this fear crap. We're going forward.
And I go, so can I do a perception check, see how thick the vines are going forward? Like looking forward, see if they look thicker or thinner?
Sure. Give me a 12.
That is a 7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
They get pretty close to the wall, and they get thicker, but it does look like there's a very narrow pathway still, that if you all press against the wall and scoot along the edge, you can probably avoid the vines.
I go, I guess we're going. We're going?
Oh, I don't know about this, but alright. I don't really want to go back either.
Let's keep going forward then. I'm sitting there
roll
like,
for Dex.
I'm just like, this is, I swear we need to turn around.
Scooching through, Ronnie is going to put away her gravedigger's axe so that she's not sitting there and with the axe like this and accidentally protruding out her blade and cutting things that shouldn't be cut.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 12. Natty 12, actually, so that's what? 13, 14, 15.
Hooray for you.
What'd you get?
I got the yin yang effect.
That sounds like a natty 1.
Yeah.
What's your plus? Plus what?
It's a +2, so it's not by much. It's only a 3, but it's still a critical fail at the end of the day.
You guys advance towards the southern wall. Garak presses herself flat against the stone and starts shuffling awkwardly along the wall, her pockets clinking as she goes. Stryker, you're next up beside her, pressing yourself flat against the wall, and you start shuffling. Ronnie, as you are stepping up towards the wall, your axe in its holster on your back snares on one of the vines hanging from the ceiling. And you feel it just after it happens. You're like, shit. And a moment later, the vine comes to life and begins trying to wrap itself around you. Roll another 12 side for Dex to see if you can avoid it wrapping around your throat.
Oh, thank God, that's a 9.
You whirl on the thing and grab it with both hands, struggling to fight it off. It does manage to coil around your upper body and your arms, but you manage to keep it off of your throat. Stryker, you and Gadok, of course, hear and see this. What are you doing?
I go, Gadok, stay here. And I walk very carefully and pull out my short sword and try to cut it.
All right, give me a 12 side for Dex to see if you cut the vine and not Ronnie.
That's a 9, 10, 11, 12.
All right,
Dirty 12, everybody.
Ronnie.
He does a rising upper with a descending flip slash.
Ronnie, thanks to your impressive strength, you're able to hold fairly still and stable as you're fighting with this vine, which you are surprised to note is matching you almost exactly point for point in strength. But you're not going anywhere, and because you're holding so still, Stryker has a clean shot. He whirls the short sword over your head, and it severs the vine cleanly, both the rising and the falling loops, and the vine falls down limp about your body.
Ronnie immediately moves away from that spot and just shakes the vines off.
And I go, are you okay? Are you okay?
And she just looks up and she's kneeled on the ground and she grabs her gravedigger's axe and slowly pulls it from its off of the hilt. And she goes, I guess I'm carrying it like this now.
As you pull the axe out of the holster and bring it around in front of you, you feel rather than see a tremor of movement in the room. Looking back the way you came, you see all the vines that you passed start to sway back and forth with increasing intensity, and it seems to be flowing towards you like a wave.
Ronnie's eyes widen and she goes, oh,
time to go?
Fuck. Run!
Gadok turns and looks and sees this approaching wave of swaying vines, and her eyes almost pop out of their sockets, and she turns and starts running, not even really paying attention to the pathway anymore, and steps right into a patch of the roots on the floor. The roots, of course, don't take kindly to this, and immediately rise up and try to latch around her ankles. One of them misses, the other one does not, and she is snared by her right foot. And it almost brings her to a crash on the floor. She drops down to one knee instead, manages to struggle to rise, but she's like pulling at her leg, which is firmly in the root's grasp.
Stryker, get it off of me!
Alright, can I run and cut?
You can try. Give me a dex.
He does the moonwave slash and cuts all of
Shut
them.
up. Can't laugh when I roll. Okay. I got a 10 altogether.
A 10. You
He definitely pulls off the moonwave slash.
You squeak along the wall at almost a jog and drop low and slash with your offhand. Fortunately for you, you have dual wielding, and you're just as proficient left or right-handed with the short swords. You cleave cleanly through the root that has snared Gadok's leg, allowing her to break free and get back onto the path on the opposite side.
Ronnie, let's go.
While that's going on, Ronnie is just like, fuck it, I'm running through this, and if I have to slash my way through, I will.
All right, Ronnie, you're going to go straight through, I assume, across here?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Roll me a 12 side.
Oh, come on, Ronnie.
Okay. We're rolling straight nines right now. I'm loving this.
Oh, shit. You better roll really well.
Wow.
What you got?
Is that 9?
Yeah, I rolled a 9.
You rolled a
Is
9.
it all together? Or just
No, all together. Well, first of all, I didn't even know what I was rolling with. Dex,
I didn't
what?
tell you.
Yeah.
It was a dex check.
So +2, so 11.
You dash across the rooted area, whirling your axe to slice vines that are hanging down in the area. You cut through several of the vines, but as you take a step across the root-strewn ground, roots rise up and latch onto both of your legs. You're suddenly slammed to a halt as your legs are completely frozen and locked by these roots.
Ronnie just takes the axe and just cleaves right through and starts moving again.
All right, give me a 12 side for Dex. See if you can manage to cut the roots without cutting yourself.
All right, so that's another dex check. That's another 11 altogether.
11 altogether, all right. You whirl the axe and slice through. You're able to cut several of the roots off on one of your legs, freeing it, but the other one has too many and it holds fast. Gadok, in this amount of time, is streaking past you, apparently oblivious to your plight. Her face is like completely white as a sheet, and she's just running for her life, pockets clinking madly as she goes. The wave of swaying vines advances on your position. The swaying seems to be getting more urgent, more serious. Striker, are you following behind Gadok?
I'm saving Ronnie.
You're gonna save Ronnie. You're such a good friend.
Like, Gadok.
She's just gone. Striker, roll me 2 different dexes. First one to see if you can step into the morass of roots without getting snared yourself.
5, 6, 7, 8 altogether.
8. Not good enough. You step through, the roots immediately rise up to try to snatch your legs. You manage to fend one pile of them off, but the other group wraps itself around your right leg, and you're now stuck. You are within arm's reach of Ronnie, though, and you could slash at the roots holding her if you wish.
Ronnie, together. You slash my leg, I slash yours.
On 3.
1, 2, 3.
12 sides?
Oh my god, the bangers just keep coming with these 9s. 11 altogether.
I got an 8.
You guys slash at each other's roots and manage to break them free for both of you.
Wow, you guys could have killed each other if you both had critical failures.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy that right now I'm rolling nothing but 9s. I'm not even complaining anymore. I'm just gonna let it happen.
And since I'm closer to the thing, I grab Ronnie and throw her towards the path.
All right.
So you,
Give me a strength check.
I'm the one throwing you, if anything.
You throwing me?
You gonna try and throw each other?
Shoot, we just gonna jump together. Let's screw it. We just jumping
Screw
together.
it, jump together.
All right.
he
jump
remembers
together.
his training when he used to like pick up like 50-ton.
50-ton
barrels.
wolves, man. You ever ran with a wolf?
Come on, let's turn on anime mode. It'll be super fun.
Both
much
of you
I
roll
grabbed
dexes
Ronnie
to
and said,
see if
"Let's
you can
go."
jump back onto the path in safety.
Oh, I'm good. I got 11, so I don't even need to continue with my dex.
And there you go. That's the last 9. I'm pretty sure that's the last 9 I'm going to get.
And
I'm
we're
just gonna
booking it
take
right behind
I'm
Gadok.
just going to take it.
We're just right behind Gadok. We're gone.
All of you leap free and scramble out of the room as the vines and roots start flailing madly, looking for victims to snag.
I'm going like, we're not going back that way.
You make it into the passageway safely in one piece. Gadok is leaning up against the wall, panting, her whole face white, like she's
And
seen a ghost.
And I grab Gadok and like put a right up against the wall, real close to her face. I'm like, we could have all died. Not just you, not just me, and not just her. I appreciate if we work together so we can get back.
She
And I get real close like I'm about to kiss her, and I go, and I back off.
That seems to snap her out of it. She gets this real eager look for a moment and then real crestfallen. And, oh, I know, I'm sorry.
And Ronnie just walks by her and glances at her and waits for Stryker to hit past the corner. And she slams her fist right into the wall next to Gadok and goes, "Ever leave anyone else for dead? And you've got me to contend with."
For once, she doesn't flash one of her Cheshire Cat grins. She's too badly shaken by what just happened to try and make a quip.
And Ronnie just eyes her down evilly and then goes, "Good. Now get moving."
You want me in front again?
No, I'm taking the lead.
She visibly relaxes at that.
Thank you, Striker, thank you. I don't think I could take the lead again.
Don't thank me yet. With a real strong, stern voice to make it feel like, look, I'm in charge right now. My job is to protect y'all.
Hey, make him roll for charisma check, and if he rolls anything
Shut
lower
up.
than a
He
5,
already
his
just
voice,
made it out of
his
this. I
voice
think it
cracks
doesn't
and he
matter.
sounds like,
We just made it out of this thing alive. I think right now we all like, you know what? You take the lead, bro. You take the lead.
No, I'm
Don't you
not
dare
going
do
to
it,
make
Mike.
you roll for that in this particular moment. Even if your voice did crack like an adolescent, I don't think Gaddock would notice.
I probably would crack too after that. I was like, oh my God, I just survived it. In my head, I'm going, oh my God. Like a little schoolgirl. Oh my God, I can't believe we just survived this. Oh Lord.
All right.
Oh God.
You all managed to survive that, though. Good job.
Oh my gosh.
Ronnie takes this moment to walk up to the Striker. Oh, you've already switched this.
Yeah, we're going to
Never
switch
mind.
over now. Hey,
I
no.
mean, you still could say something before we fully go.
Go ahead and
Okay,
say
sure.
something if you got it.
Striker, we may have a problem getting out of here now.
And I go, I'm pretty sure it circles around. They wouldn't make one. You know what? Hopefully we'll make it out of this.
I'm pretty sure you guys will. I mean, you know, we got the plot armor, the real life plot armors. You know, we roll well when we.
You know,
when
every time you say this, he does something to troll us to prove a point that plot armor doesn't exist. Is this really what you want to do right now?
It wasn't there for Kadok.
Yeah, but Carrick was fodder bait. You know.
That's
He
true.
was,
Maybe he
yeah,
was
he
an
was.
NPC, so maybe he was cannon fodder. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, that was the game.
You guys advancing forward down the hallway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just want to say this is fun watching Sarah play two characters.
I don't know how he keeps them straight. Hard enough for me to keep all the NPCs figured out.
Hey, now you know what I've had to go through all these years as a GM. Or DM, depending on how you feel about your fancies, ladies and gentlemen. Some people say Games Master, some people say Dungeons Master.
I mean, this is a dungeon, so at the moment, I am the Dungeon Master.
Indeed.
There's an opening ahead. Looks like the hallway expands into another large chamber.
Hmm.
I'm a ninja.
Just
Dang
a
it.
wannabe ninja.
Are petty light-skinned people allowed to be ninjas?
Yes, because we can hide in the day.
Asians are ninjas, and they're pretty light skinned.
We all can hide.
Now, I think our friend Jank would disagree with you, and he would say that they're bright-skinned, much like our mighty mage here.
Unless they're Southeast Asian, then they got.
Jank is a final flash.
Final Flash!
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
You know what? I hadn't considered it. I thought he was more of a Big Bang attack, but now when I'm really thinking about it, you're right. He's a Final Flash.
There
Oh
you
no,
go.
Dragon Ball Z references.
There we go.
Look how we've fallen.
I know. No, you see this chamber expanding out ahead of you. Are you advancing into the chamber?
Oh hell yeah! We're gonna go back.
Hell yeah.
Leroy Jenkins! Regios, I assume you're following him?
I
Since
do
you're
have the
only
torchlight.
torch holder? Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Leroy Jenkins.
No, we make it through this. I'm getting a beer, then another beer, then another beer,
I want chicken.
then another beer.
Now that you're in the room, it seems less like a room and more like a very large hallway.
Hey, let's keep going.
I guess keep your eyes open for any protruding openings.
I say, yeah, I made it this far.
I still say let's go back for that sword and bow, but we're in too deep now.
Nah.
Again, I'd rather not get it right now. I'd much rather wait till we have some reinforcements. Again, those vines, roots, whatever they are, they give me pause.
You guys advance further down this hallway. You can see that it extends quite a ways into the distance. Torchlight fading into blackness, but you also see there is an opening in the wall on the left, heading southward.
Let's go left.
Sir Regios takes a moment to think about it.
Sir Noah's adventurous.
Let's flip a coin on it.
All right. Tails, we go straight. Heads, we go left.
Very well. Ah! I dropped it.
You fool! Can't even flip a coin properly.
I know, right? And it is tails.
Going straight.
No room for y'all.
We might come back for it later. You never know.
All right, straight it is.
I'm sorry, did you not want to be straight?
He's like, are you? Never mind.
I am not a king. I don't go both ways.
Those aren't kings, those are aces. Sorry.
Yeah.
The corridor seems to bend away and shrink back in size as it heads to the south.
What you doing?
Can't hear you, Noel.
Oh, keep going.
Keep going. The man has spoken.
Well,
Though it
we're
is
gonna go
written,
back.
so it shall be.
Or we're gonna go back.
You know what the sad thing is? One of the best low-key villain phrases of all time, Ezekiel Rage from the Adventures of Johnny Quest series.
You don't have Ghost of a
And
Chance.
so it is written in the Book of Rage. And it
look.
come to find out the Book of Rage actually doesn't have any writing in it. It's just a picture of his family before the CIA got him and his family killed. That's all that's left.
That sounds like real life. Those goddamn glowies.
Oh,
I go, hey, you don't see that light?
Noel and Seregios, as you round the corner to this passage heading south, you see a glimmer of light down at the end of the hall. And Stryker, around the same time, you see a glimmer of torchlight coming from the passage to your right.
I go, be ready, guys.
Oh, somebody's coming.
hold on a second. Oh, Jared.
My name. I go, it's him.
Oh, it's you guys. Oh man, so good to see you.
And I go, hey guys. Yeah, we can't go that way.
Guess who? And I say, guess who didn't make it?
Oh shit.
the Regios?
Oh no.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon. Even Sir Regios looks at Nolan, just looks at him and just shakes his head like, must you be so ill-minded?
I go, hey.
Well, hey, you're the last one who saw him.
And I go, guys, wait. 1, 2. Where's
my brother? Where's Kadok? What have you done with him?
There was a room filled with treasure and vines. The roots took him. We tried to save him, but I'm sorry, Gata.
Roll a 12-side for deception.
Oh, first of all, I'm rolling for the wrong person. There we go, that's better. You said for deception,
Yeah,
that's
that falls under
rolls a
charisma.
one.
So what is my charisma?
He rolls 1. He goes, that's why I killed that
Plus
motherfucker. I couldn't stand him.
No, I got lucky. I rolled a 7. So
Wow,
with the
that's pretty
plus
good.
2, it's a 9.
Mm-hmm.
it's a 9?
So let's see how this plays out.
You see Gaddock stare at you kind of blankly for a moment.
The roots took him? He's
Yes.
dead?
Yes. Well, Regios was the last one who saw him.
Yeah, no, just keep saying stuff.
Yes, after him and Noel had already failed to get him free the first attempts. I tried my best, and I'll show the loss of my dagger, since I only just have the handle left. The roots apparently are much more than we thought. The viscous black liquid they spill, it did something to my blade. May have done the same to Noel's blade, but we haven't really investigated how far.
And it's flame retardant, so like fire doesn't do anything to it.
But acid can kill it.
Oh, that's what.
Stryker and Ronnie, at that point, you note that your sword and axe are covered in this black liquid after having fought your way through the vine room just to the south.
So I'll pull out my sword so we can look at it.
And they're still covered in the black liquid.
And Ronnie tries to, find something to clean it off with, and Sir Regios notices what she's trying to do and just kind of hands her that piece of cloth that he ripped off of his cloak from earlier to wipe it off with.
Just wiping them off.
Yep.
As you wipe the gooey substance off of the blades, Stryker, you notice that almost the entire length of your short sword is now more of a burnished bronze color than the bright steel you would have expected. Ronnie, your axe has fared a little bit better. The discoloration is not quite as dark, but it definitely does appear to be discolored.
Am I a demon slayer?
As you guys are doing this, Gaddock just sort of slowly sinks to the floor, looking at her hands and muttering to herself under her breath.
Sir Regios walks over to her, gently places his hand on her shoulder. I am sorry, but this place is a bit too dangerous. We're gonna search a few more rooms and then we are absolutely getting out of here.
And as he says that, I go, yeah, we're going back the way you came.
What? Why? What's wrong with your path?
And I once again show my sword. I'm like, yeah, this was almost us.
I see.
Oh, by the way, we found some really cool gear, like this really epic looking bow and arrow.
And as soon as he
big
says,
two-handed sword. And I was like,
he,
but Regios was being kind of a wuss, and we didn't want to go for it.
As soon as he says bow, I go, huh? I perk up like, where's it at?
Well, we didn't go for it because we thought it was a trap. There was a bunch of bones and skeletons around it.
No, said we're going back after we finish. Like, let's continue looking.
I really wanted that two-handed sword.
We'll go back for it when we finish looking.
Sir Reggio stops. Well, the only ways there are right now is currently the way me and Noel came from, which there is a room that we passed. We didn't go in it yet, but it is there. And then there's this path in front of us.
I go, let's continue down the path. We'll
Ronnie
that way.
looks up and goes, we should probably check that room first. At this point, it'd be nice to have a little break. If the room's empty with none of those roots, I say we all take a break, pull what information we can together. That way we know exactly what we're dealing with when we go forward.
Like, majority rules here. So whoever decides we can keep going, we keep going. If not, excuse me, we'll take a break. Sorry, I was a little scared.
And I pat Strike in the back. He's like, all right, burp all of it out.
Sir Regios just kind of looks up and he's like, I'm actually impressed with your thought process. You usually don't say much in these situations. Yes, I'll vote to go to the room, if for nothing more for a break, and to pull information. That would be helpful.
And I look at Gaddock, I'm like, yeah, she's not going to continue, so let's go. Let's just go. Let's check this room, and hopefully we can take a break.
All right. Stryker, are you taking point on this?
I go, yeah, I go.
Right. You advance over. I assume it's this way you're going.
No, we're going back to the room.
We're going back to the room.
This way, up here?
Yes.
Okay. Going that way.
I'm gonna take a little break, and I pick up while we walk. I grab Gat. I go like, she's not gonna walk by herself, and pull her.
Actually, Ronnie will do that part.
Ronnie will do it. All right.
Yes.
Ronnie's gonna grab Gadok.
I'm like, no, come on, come with me.
Allows herself to be led by whichever one of you is grabbing hold of her. Are you going back up here to the long hallway or to this unexplored room down below?
The unexplored room.
Okay. Which one of you is following in behind Stryker? Ronnie, Noel, or Seregios?
Give it to.
I would say it would be
Noel.
Ronnie.
I say me, no.
No.
Give it to Noel.
Yep. No. Come on, Noli. No.
Since you're the one who ended up pulling her along, I get to do this now.
No. Look.
So before they advance, Ronnie walks up to Sir Regios. A moment of your time, if I could. Yes. You said that the vines got him? Yes. Ronnie gives him a very deep stare and debates whether she should say anything more. But instead, she just grins.
Hey, come on, guys.
We're coming. If you try that with any of my friends here, that being Noel and Stryker, me and you are going to have a huge problem, sir. And then you'll have to worry about the vines getting you.
I go.
And then Ronnie goes.
I'm like, what y'all talking about? Come on, guys. Sheesh.
I heard her say friend.
So I'll have the two of you roll 12 sides for perception to see how much of this conversation you can hear, but they are down the hall.
Okay.
Oh, I heard nothing.
I got 11, buddy. Oh,
I heard 3 because I'm more further into the little doorway, waiting for them, so I couldn't really hear.
Yeah. So, Stryker, you just hear sort of incoherent murmurings coming down the hallway. Noel, you catch little snippets of their conversation echoing down the hall. Gadok seems to be sort of withdrawn into her own world and doesn't appear to hear or notice anything.
All right, bring your butts on.
Y'all coming up to join the rest of the group?
Yep.
Right.
We need all the torches we can use right now.
Well, you only technically got 2 at the moment because Gadok is catatonic at the moment.
Well, she's still holding hers, but she's definitely not trying to put it to its best use.
Yeah. Ronnie is going to suggest that Noel takes Gadok's torch, and that she will wait outside for them to clear the room first with Gadok before they go in.
Noel, what do you say to that?
I don't know.
You're going to have to sheathe your weapon to carry the shield, or sheathe the weapon or the shield to carry the torch.
I'll put away the shield.
Okay. Noel's got the torch, puts away the shield. Stryker, are you advancing into the room in front?
Yep.
All right. Forward we go.
I feel like this is a bad idea, but let's do this.
Noel behind. Seregios, are you staying behind with Ronnie and Gadok? Or
Nope, he's actually going to go in along with them.
Okay.
Let the light shine through.
So, you know that leaves Ronnie and Gadok in the dark. The Seregios, Stryker, and now Noel are the only ones with torches. You want to rethink that?
They left it. All right, keep going. Just stand near the doorway. That's all I
Ronnie,
tell him.
well, Ronnie is just basically going to lead her right into the doorway area, and that's about it.
Okay. Gadok seems fully withdrawn and doesn't seem to notice or care that the light is fading away.
Ronnie just puts her arm around her shoulder and says, "Come on, dear. I know it's tough. I've lost many of loved ones myself, so I understand how you're feeling."
You can't begin to understand. I was supposed to be with him when it happened. We made a pact that neither one of us would die without the other.
So did me and 3 of my brothers, and yet all 3 of them dead in battle. Different battlefields, mind you.
She just sort of slowly shakes her head, staring off into the abyss.
Vines. Of all things. Roots and vines. We knew this was going to be a dangerous assignment when we came, but... Roots and vines. In what mad world do plants come alive and attack people?
In a place where none should ever trespass, I take it.
Striker, as you guys advance down the hall, the bright illumination of your 3 combined torches lights the way a pretty decent distance. And you see that up ahead the room seems to expand outward, or the passageway rather expands outward into a room.
I tell him, be on guard. I get closer to just right before we walk into the big room, just barely in there.
Okay.
Sir Regios will come up on Striker's left and raise his torch to try to help illuminate the area a little bit more.
Okay. Noel, are you following in on Striker?
I go,
right?
no, get the
Yeah,
right.
I sure am.
God dang it, come on. It's just the lingering after this COVID thing, man. It just won't. Just never really wants to go away fully.
That is the problem with COVID.
Just
You
take
guys-
some Mucinex.
You guys-
All my medicine is gone, so I'm probably just gonna
Mucinex is over the counter.
drink some hot tea or something.
Yeah, that worked too.
You guys crowd around the entrance to this chamber and loft your torches as high as you can. Try to get a read on the room. The room is decently sized, a little bit smaller than some that you've explored so far. And it seems to be completely bare except for a single raised pedestal exactly in the center of the room. This pedestal is itself pretty decently large, probably a good 10 feet across at the base, stepped multiple times to raise it up off of the floor, and then a single stone column that rises another few feet. And suspended above this raised column, apparently floating in the air, is just this dark spot. Your torchlight doesn't seem to penetrate it, whatever it is. You're too far away.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna go to the opposite side where it's clear and no roots are.
And Sir Regios will take center towards the pedestal.
Okay. Regius is advancing to the center. Striker's going to the right where there aren't any roots.
Mm-hmm.
Noel, what are you doing?
Oh man. Well, I guess I'm gonna follow. I'm in too deep, I guess.
Where you want to position yourself?
To the right of Sir Regios.
So here-ish?
No. The right going down is the left.
So over here.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm going down. My right is his left.
You're correct.
So be careful.
You step gingerly over the roots. They don't seem to stir. Everybody roll 12 sides for me for perception.
Ooh.
9 for Sergios.
Oh man, I got a 2.
I got a 4.
Mm.
Yeah.
And while that's going on, can we have Ronnie move Gadok? Can you scroll up real quick? Can you have her move her right into about the center line of the bricking?
Here?
A little bit further down, like right where that center line is off of the left side brick.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. The light back here is quite dim. Really only getting the dregs from the torches in the room ahead. It's just barely enough to even be able to perceive the walls of the chamber, or the walls of the hallway, and your two bodies. So, Noel and Stryker, you advance slowly into the room, torches lofted high. Strangely, the torches don't seem to be casting as much light in here as they had in the other chambers and hallways, but you're not exactly sure why. The room, as far as you can tell, appears to be empty, except for the vines which crisscross the floor. The floor, you notice, is not stone anymore, but you're not sure what it is exactly. Sergios, you step closer to the pedestal, which you see is made of apparently the same dark stone as the rest of the structure. But unlike the stone walls around you, this pedestal appears to be completely seamless. There is not a joint or brick anywhere in its construction. It is as if the thing was made from a single piece.
Wow.
And the rising above it, a dark spot, for want of a better term, floats a few inches above the pedestal surface. Looking at it, you have no idea what it is you're looking at. It's as if the light from your torch simply stops at this point.
And we all noticed it at the same time, so I look at it.
Stryker. No.
I'm like, no. I know.
Hey, which one of you guys are gonna touch it?
Hell no. I know what it is, probably. Well, maybe. I don't, you know what? I don't mess with dark juju.
Sergios just calmly puts his hand down on the pedestal.
Roll 12 side for perception.
Wait, look. The last time I seen
That
something like
is
that.
11.
Why? It's 11.
Yeah.
And as before we even do it, as I look at Noel and Reggie said, last time I seen something like that, yeah, I almost lost my life.
Sergios, you take a step onto the pedestal, onto the platform, and lay a hand on the pedestal, supporting this thing.
I'm gonna die.
Torch right beside you. As you place your hand on the pedestal, you feel that tingle in your fingers again that you felt when touching the obelisk outside. Not quite as jolting or searing as that, but it's definitely there. And you can feel a sense of intense energy within the pedestal, twisting and flowing in ways you don't comprehend. And as you're trying to make sense of what you're feeling, you notice a ring of glyphs appear around the perimeter of the pedestal that you're pretty sure weren't there before. They seem to glow faintly yellow and pulse rhythmically. And as you are staring at them, you can't read them. They're in that strange script that you saw on the scroll back in the Oracle's chambers. But this sensation in the back of your mind, like someone speaking to you, but at a whisper. You can barely make it out.
They're like, oh crap.
Sir Regios.
Xerxes, Cretaboris.
Oh, this guy's spitting bars.
So Sir Regios is going to start ripping at his cloak again, and he's going to ask Stryker to throw him a dagger.
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw it. I'm gonna walk over and hand it to you because
Fair enough.
You walk over and hand Regios a dagger.
and then while he's done, then I'm gonna touch the thing too since I'm right there. I was like, you know what? Let's see. I'm just gonna touch it.
All right.
And while he's
Roll me
doing
a
that,
12
Sir
for
Regios,
perception.
yeah, while he's doing that, Sir Regios is literally taking all the glyphs
Mhm.
and everything he's hearing, and he's carving it into this cloth that he's just ripped off.
Interesting.
For everything that I do, I get good ass rolls. I got an 11.
Another 11.
But when it really counts,
What is the perception? This is what a perception
yeah,
is?
perception. I got 11. Last time I got a 12, and I got 11 for this one. So, you know what?
Yeah. When it comes to story beats, you're killing it. You're killing it with story beats. But
everything
anything else,
So, Seregios, roll me a 12 for Dex to see if you can actually carve legible characters into the cloth with this dagger without just shredding the cloth.
shouldn't be a problem. We rolled a 9, and that's a +2 on his dex, right? So that's 11.
All right, you're able to inscribe some very crude replications of the script, but there's an awful lot of script to record. It's going to take you some time. Stryker, you lay a hand on the pedestal, and you also feel the tingling sensation racing up your arm that you felt when you touched the obelisk earlier.
Lord, not again.
And although you try to take your hand away, you find that it doesn't respond. It's almost like you're glued by electricity to the pedestal. And you feel that sensation of energy, this time overwhelming, powerful, tremendous energy, not just in the pedestal, but in the entire structure around you. The whole pyramid seems to hum with power. And it all seems to coalesce and condense right at this point, at this pedestal. And above it, again, feeling rather than seeing, a point of absolute, infinite darkness, which drowns out the brilliance of the light that you see around it.
As this is going on, I go, no, 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 no,
I say-
no, no, no,
wait,
no, 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 no.
Doing that?
I don't hear nothing.
I said, hey, Stryker, shut up. I got an idea. I got an idea. So, I literally just start running with no care to where that sword and that bow and arrow is. I think they're important.
Okay, you're gonna run out the room to go and retrieve the bow and the sword. All right.
And while I'm doing that, I grab Ronnie's arm and said, "No time to explain. Let's go." And I keep running.
Okay. Contestant strength roll? Question mark?
Do you want to do that, or is Ronnie
Yes,
going to be
because I
so
don't feel like
bewildered
you should
that she
be
just
able to
goes with it?
yank me along like that out of nowhere.
Oh, don't stop being a women and just.
Especially while I'm sitting there with like Gaddock around my, like holding Gaddock like this, like I've got a shoulder around her. So.
All right. Both of you give me 12 sides for strength. We'll see what happens.
Oh Lord. I lost that a 3.
Yeah, you definitely lost that natty 12.
Yeah. You tug on her, but it's like tugging on stone. She doesn't move. Are you just going to keep going?
I said let's go. Trust me. on this.
Ronnie, like still sitting here like this with Gaddock and noticing that her arm's actually being tugged, she stops and looks up and goes, "What are you doing?"
We can't talk. We don't have enough time. Let's go.
And then she looks up at the torchlight and then looks back at Gaddock and then realizes that it's gotten dimmer. She's just like, "Fine, just let's not do anything crazy. We still got this one with us.
All right.
I start running. I just start running.
All right.
Gonna run down the corridor.
All right.
We'll get back to you in a moment. Striker.
Oh God, no! I'm still sitting
I
like,
wasn't
no,
finished
no.
with you. I'm sorry.
Okay, and I'm still going in. No.
You're saying that, and as you're saying that, you see the glyphs appear on the perimeter of the pedestal, glowing faintly yellow and pulsing. And you also hear a voice in the back of your mind, although you're not sure where it's coming from, or why it's there, or even what it is. But it's definitely a little bit stronger than what SourceU's heard. O blan seok, uth sevul arkdanik. And it seems to be calling to you.
And I go in the back of my head. I heard that before. I know. No.
Arkdukan, Kosvod
And I
Amin.
forcefully try to pull my arm off. And I'm like, no.
And by this point, the voice is rising almost to a thundering roar in your head, drowning everything else out in the room. Ok vokun sil unslad gron kodar oath. And
Do I
suddenly
start
you're
saying
able
it?
to yank your hand off of the pedestal, the glyphs vanish from your view, and the voice disappears.
Did I start saying it while it was going in my head?
Sure, if you want.
This is like I'm just repeating word for word as it's doing it before I put my hand out.
Does Sir Regios hear him saying that?
Sure, you're right next to him.
So Sir Regios looks up. Oh dear Lord!
And I go,
He touched it.
No. And I grab him and I say, "We're out of here."
And he goes, "I'm not finished." But say that phrase again. Octador. Come on, Striker.
Start repeating word for word. It just stuck in my head.
Marbles.
And Sir Regios basically tries to carve out what he thinks Striker is saying, the way it should be written in like basic language, so as to have it to show to the Oracle later.
You mean common?
And I'm just panting real hard, like. And I look at Sir Regios.
Necktie.
This is it.
Mammut.
Yeah, I got that. I'm almost finished. Just let me finish. And then we can leave. And as far as anybody knows, we saw nothing. It's a room filled with roots and vines that we could not get past.
Deal.
Noel, you managed by this point to dash all the way back to the room where you saw the epic weaponry lying on the floor. What are you doing, man?
Hey, Ronnie, grab that sword. I get the bow and arrow.
Ronnie looks at him and immediately looks over at the weapons and then back at him. Are you fucking mental?
Oh, don't be that person. You're always going yellow. Now you're being put. Don't be that person.
Say that again.
Literally looks at him and starts backing him into the room and goes, "Don't be that person. These fucking things almost just killed me and Striker.
Yeah, me too. Big deal. Let's go.
And let's not forget, we just lost a person from these damn things."
Yeah, but like, come on.
Fine. You want my help? Be first.
All right, and I run. She's like, oh
Why
my
would
God.
you run? You gotta tread lightly with these things.
Roll me 12 side for Dex.
Oh, all right. We got this, buddy. We got this.
Ronnie's gonna fuck him up.
Oh, Lordy. I got it too.
Yeah, exactly. What's your plus on Dex?
In your effort to show off that everything is fine, by running into the room, you stomp on one of those knots of roots snaking across the floor, which predictably, reacts badly to being accosted, and tendrils reach up and wrap themselves around your foot, holding you in place.
Well, I just swing at it with my scimitar.
All right, give me another 12 for Dex to see if you can
Alright.
hit the roots and not yourself.
Oh lord.
So Ronnie.
Oh yeah, I got a 10 with that one. Hell yeah.
So he did this just to fight. He was bored. That's what I think.
He was bored.
Just bored.
With cool professionalism of a soldier, you slash down with hardly even looking, sever the roots, free your leg, and continue forward towards the bow.
Yeah, that's right. YOLO.
Tread lightly, like I said.
All right, you're now standing between the sword and the bow. Oops. Which one of these are you grabbing?
Oh, I can't get both, right?
I mean, you could get both. I'm just curious if you're picking just one or both. What you doing?
Oh, I'm getting both. I
Okay.
wrap the bow around my chest. You know how you have the bow
Mhm.
like this, like it's like like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then I grab the sword
Okay.
two-handed.
You lift up the bow, which feels surprisingly light in your hands, although looking at it, it also looks very powerful. String it over your shoulder, across your chest, and then heft the sword. The sword is, of course, a good bit heavier, but it has very nice, intricate workings. Beautiful scroll work inlaid on the blade, gilded silver and gold in the handle. But it's also clearly very functional. The shape of the blade, the shape of the handle, the size, the balance, everything about this blade feels perfect. This was clearly a master swordsman's blade at one point.
I'm like, okay, and I grab it and run back, and then I don't know if anything happens while I'm running back.
Roll
run
a
the
12
same-
side, because you're running again. Roll a 12 side for Dex.
Ronnie is gonna immediately just run towards him and axe ready.
I would have said at least I would have followed the path.
Oh
that-
hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. That bad luck paid off. Now I got some good luck. I got a 12. That's right.
Being a little
Ronnie
bit more
doesn't have to take a
mindful of
swing.
your footing this time, you leap over the knot of roots that you had trod upon earlier. And although the little tendrils kind of wave at you threateningly, they don't reach you, and you clear them with ease and get back to the entrance unscathed.
I mean, there was a nice shallow path that he could have went, but he
And I'm like, and then I'm like, all right, no time to talk, Ronnie. Let's run back.
Ronnie's looking at you confused. What the hell did you bring me here for?
You'll thank me later. Let's go. Let's go.
So, I guess
You're
that
going to start
is-
running back.
Yep. I guess that's back with us.
Yeah, back to you guys. So, Seregios, you're still frantically trying to scribble the writing into your piece of cloth, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm still going. The same stuff.
It
right?
sounds like you're just babbling.
He just,
I guess at
oh,
this point, can I do a dex roll to see if I can speed up the process?
he's spitting them bars,
You can.
tongues.
Actually, I'm speaking tongues, in my Hebrew language.
Striker, roll a 12 side for intelligence to see how coherent your stream of babble is.
Yeah, no, it's probably not that good, no matter what I roll.
I guess now my roll doesn't matter anymore. My 11 plus 2 doesn't matter anymore, people.
Oh, that's
Are
a
you
9.
recording what he's saying, or are you recording the glyphs?
Both.
So
What'd you
said
get?
intelligence, right? So that's
Yeah.
an 8 altogether.
8 altogether.
Okay, that works.
So you don't remember all of the words, and you probably are botching the pronunciation on some of them, but you're a little bit surprised at yourself at how much you remember and are able to articulate out.
Now, can I do a memory check of this from the first time I dealt with dark magic before?
You can.
Yeah.
Yay, episode 0 stuff.
Yes. We're going back to episode 0. That is a 5, so that's a 4. So yeah, because I'm doing intelligence. I remember this stuff, but I'm just like, I probably pushed it out of my mind because it was so badly. I was like, no, I'm not remembering none of this. I blocked it from my mind.
Oh, I'm sorry, give me the numbers again.
I rolled a 5, but it's a -1 on intelligence, so
Mhm.
that is a 4. So, like I said, I probably blocked it from my mind. I'm like,
All that you remember from your last encounter with voodoo dark magic was that it was really spooky and really creepy, and you wanted nothing further to do with it ever again. Which is kind of funny, considering you were out here on a job looking for dark voodoo magic.
And I thought I was going
this way.
And I thought I was going in the opposite direction of where the map said before. Hey, the map
can we
tricked us.
move Ronnie and Gadok just a little further up?
A little further up, you say?
Yes.
No, stay close.
No, up the. I'm sorry.
You're
northward.
going northward.
Northward.
Back towards the entrance.
How much further? We're going back where you
right,
were?
right there. Yeah,
Right
right
here?
about there. It's fine.
All right. So, Stryker, after spouting your babble as much as you can for Seregios to scribble down, what are you doing?
I am saying, let's go. And I go towards the entrance, but not all the way out. Just enough so, just in case, Regios decides to do something else.
Right about that time that you're heading back to the doorway, Noel, you finish sprinting back into the room. You're puffing kind of hard at this point, but you covered the distance in record time. Almost crash into the guys as you stumble back into the room.
Whoa, bro! What the?
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I'm saying, oh, hey, Stryker.
What?
Here. And I throw him the bow.
And I go, Coop. This is nice.
Yeah, ain't it?
Regios looks directly at Noel. Tell me you didn't go back there alone.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, no, I didn't. I was responsible. I brought Ronnie with me.
This is. And I hold the bow, and I look at it. I was like, "Can I do an intelligence?" What's it be? Yeah, it would be intelligence to see if I know the type of bow this is.
Yeah, you can do an intelligence check on it.
Wait, he's a ranger. Wouldn't he just know what kind of bow?
I mean, it's obviously a longbow, but if you want to do further investigation, you can.
Yeah, because I've never seen the craftsmanship of this before.
He can do a quality test. Yeah, quality. He can do a quality test. He's like, this is.
If he's smart enough.
Which he's not, because his intelligence is -1.
Shut up. Leave me alone.
Roll the dice.
No.
Say it once, say it twice. Take a chance and roll the dice.
3.
Fly in the moon with the pale of night.
That's because y'all like to mess with me when I'm about to do something.
That's
and
right.
then you always say something when I roll.
So you hold the bow in your hands and in the shining torchlight from the three of y'all's torches. It is exquisite craftsmanship. You can see right off the bat. It looks like it was made from a very fine piece of probably yew wood, and inlaid with silver chasing all up and down the length in elegant scrollwork. The handle is very comfortably sized for your hand. The bowstring is ancient and doesn't look to be in great condition, but the rest of the bow looks pretty good. And you can actually see some what looks like words or glyphs or something etched along one side, the rising side of the bow. Although you don't recognize the script.
Okay.
Does Seregios see the scriptures on the bow and the sword?
What languages does Seregios know?
1 sec.
Honestly, what language do I know?
Uru, Meridian, and Sarai.
You know the funny thing is, I don't even think I did a language. Huh.
Well, if you didn't do a language, then I'm going to say that neither one of you recognizes the script.
Oh, you didn't hear the languages I just listed?
I heard you, but
Oh, okay.
Stryker,
Yeah, I don't know.
Stryker
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't know.
have languages written down, so we're going to assume that he knows Uru because he works in Uruk. But we're not going to go any further than that.
I could have sworn I.
Okay, that works.
That's weird. I could have sworn I did put down my languages, but I do not see it on here.
But do the characters at all look like they match anything that Sir Regios has seen?
No.
No. Okay.
I go, all right. Look, we'll come back to this later once we get out of here. And I put the bow around me since I'm not as hefty as Sir Witherspoon with all the armor. It shouldn't damage it as much. So,
Ronnie, roll me a 12 side for perception.
Oof. And we're back on terrible perception rolls. That was a 3.
A 3.
All right, I sucked up all the luck in those weapons successfully.
Noel, you roll me a perception check too, please.
All right.
Ronnie, you feel Gaddock stiffen next to you, and her head come up. And her eye, you can't see her face very clearly, but you get the impression that she's, like, turning her head, searching. And you hear her go,
What is that? You smell that?
What'd you get, Noel?
A 4.
4. And
Ronnie starts to take a sniff around and... Yeah, that's... Smells familiar, but not in a good way.
the faint odor of rotting flesh and overripe fruit and decay gradually wafts over you. And Noel, a moment later, you start to smell something rather foul. Smells kind of like that one chamber you guys were in earlier, where all the vines were pouring out of the doorway.
Get ready, and I have this that really nice sword I got. Can I do observation check on the sword? See the qualities.
Sure, that'd be an intelligence check. And if you're going to equip that as your weapon, you're going to have to drop your torch. It's a two-handed sword, after all.
Hey, Regios, can you hold this?
I suppose.
Regios is over there double torching.
All right, and then
He just starts juggling torches for no apparent reason.
don't juggle the torches.
Don't do that. I'll
Alright.
make you dex roll for it.
Wait. Let me roll for this.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, Lord, a 4. My luck ran out.
Studying the sword for a moment in your hands, again, you note the exquisitely fine craftsmanship. It was clearly made for a master swordsman. The balance, as I stated earlier, is perfect. And you notice that there is a small inscription on the pommel at the base of the sword, but it's in a script that you don't recognize.
I go like, all right, look, I'm done. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
No, I mean, you sure? We got some pretty nice weapons. Hey, do you have nice horse tendon strings for your?
Do you guys hear that sound?
I'm already walking. I'm like, I hear that, and I'm like, nope, time to go.
Going somewhere so soon.
I'm like,
Yeah, this
oh,
place
what did
stinks,
you
so
do?
I'm leaving.
The odor of rotting flesh becomes quite a bit stronger now. The scent of decay and putridness is almost overpowering. But you're not sure where it's coming from, or where that voice is coming from, for that matter.
And you know what?
At
I
this
do
time,
this.
Ronnie has pulled out her battle axe and she's facing the entrance, and she's telling Gaddock to get behind her.
And you know what? I'm like, this is probably gonna be the stupidest thing I do right now. I pull out my bow and I aim right at the little black spot.
Which bow? The really good one I
Interesting.
gave you, or your?
No, not the good one.
Oh, okay.
All right, you're
I'm gonna
gonna
buy it.
aim at the little black spot. All right, you actually
I was
shooting
like-
at it?
And I'm going. No, I'm not gonna hit it. I'm gonna shoot past it and see what happens when I do it.
Yeah, let's not use the busted weapon I gave
I'm
you.
like-
Sure.
Like, yeah, I'm not using that busted thing. The string will break by the time I do it. And I go,
All right.
Regios, be ready. And I pull back and I aim. I was like, wait, before I let go. No, put down that sword. Take the torch. Pull out one of your other weapons.
Nah, I'm pretty confident with this thing.
Nope, I am telling you what to do right now. Well, then look.
The problem is that every weapon he has is a two-handed weapon.
Except for his sword.
Well, not my spear.
I mean,
my
technically,
spear,
he could use his spear one-handed,
Mm-hmm.
or his
I'd
scimitar.
rather him have a shield.
Does he have enough proficiency to do it one-handed without disadvantage rolls?
Check that again.
I said, because before I let go.
That's my only concern. If we let him do that.
No, it's a single-handed weapon. He doesn't
Okay.
lose any proficiency using it one-handed.
Oh, actually, no, that makes sense because he usually goes into battle with spear
With
and
the spear and the shield, yeah.
You sure? I don't know. I think those weapons were there for a reason. But then again, it could be coincidence.
I think you touching them has now caused this issue. The reason they were there was probably to keep whatever is about to come after us at bay. You may have just screwed the pooch on this one.
Hey, maybe these weapons can just, hey, maybe these weapons can hurt it. Maybe our
Oh my God, just ready up. Come on.
All right.
And then I let
Quarrelsome.
and then I let go of my arrow right at the thing, right by it.
Right by the black spot. All right, roll a 20 side.
20 side.
Let's go, Striker. Let's go.
Miss it.
Let's go, Striker. Let's go.
Miss it.
Let's go, Striker. Let's go. Let's go, Striker. Let's
Get
go.
on with it!
Wait, that is a 6.
A 6.
Yes, I personally,
God damn you, Striker.
I personally shoot the miss.
He's got a +5, so it's still a pretty decent roll.
Dang it.
Are you shooting at the black spot or past it?
I'm shooting past it.
Okay. You let fly. The arrow streaks just off the side of this black spot suspended over the pedestal, and disappears into the darkness beyond the reach of your torch. You can hear it sort of ping as it clatters off of the stone wall, and then clatters to the floor.
I'm looking at the dark spot just in case it like flutters or anything, like it tries to.
Nothing appears to happen.
Nothing. I said, okay, that's a good thing. Now, be ready once again. This time I'm trying to hit it.
Just looks at you and goes, "No, we're leaving now.
But
Post haste."
okay. And then I strap a bomb to a bow and I shoot it up in the air. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Ronnie was the only one to come in contact with like anything that explodes at all, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
Damn it.
He doesn't have
Make
any
sure I didn't
firecrackers in his
forget
pocket.
this.
Just want to make sure of something. All right, let's run.
Why?
All right. I guess I follow you guys.
So soon. It's been so since I had guests for dinner. Stay.
I'm like,
Make
yeah.
yourselves at home.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Y'all good?
I've already eaten this morning, I'm sure.
You did too? Yeah.
We're fine. Right? No, let's just back up the pathway. No.
Yeah, let's go. I don't know why you're reasoning with the thing. Let's go.
You guys start heading back up the pathway. Roll 12 sides for perception.
I'm assuming that's to everybody, you think?
Everybody.
So I'm rolling a double.
That-
Oh!
I got a 4.
Yay! Somebody rolled high. Good job, buddy. Good job. And this is all because you wanted to be happy about your gluten-free game win today, and this is why. We had one small moment of glimmer of hope, and now it's gone again. And
Get on with it, you fool. What'd you roll?
2 2s in a row.
Hey, don't blame me for
Dang.
your failures.
What'd
I
you get,
rolled a
Striker?
6.
A 6. Striker,
Wow,
you're the only one who
thing
seems
close
to notice
success.
as you're retreating that the scent of decay and rotting flesh is getting stronger the further north you go.
No, get your shield out.
Yeah, but I can't build a sword. How do you know this is the only thing that can hurt him? I'm not.
The sword away.
How about I don't.
Ronnie
And
looks back at Yuno and glares at you as she says this. Just give the torch to the girl, get your ass up here, and let's see what the hell's happening.
yeah, good idea. I'm like, yeah.
I was like, you mother.
So let's see then. That means Seregios now has only one torch. You've given the other torch to Gadok, and Striker, you have one torch. But
Yeah.
what did you do with it when you took your bow out? You had
Oh.
to put it down.
Yeah, I put it down, but I picked it up when he was asleep. Once I put it back on me,
Okay.
and then once I grabbed my bow, and I grabbed the torch, and I put the bow away too, and then we started walking. 'Cause
Gadok,
somebody
you
wanted to
notice,
crush me.
has pulled a coiled whip off of her belt. And with the torch in one hand, she looses this whip out beside her and limbers up, and you see a little bit of fire in her eyes. Like,
Whatever this is, I am going to avenge my brother.
Atta girl.
And I go, I don't know why. I'm a little turned on right now.
And Ronnie just goes, now's not the time. Save it for when we get out of here.
Oh,
You can have all the fun you like.
I'm gonna have fun with both of y'all when we get out of here. Let's do this.
And because of the severity of the situation, Ronnie doesn't even respond to him. She just battle stance and ready.
you all do look fun. Have you come to play with?
And Ronnie just grins. I've been told I'm a hell of a date. But be careful. You might get yourself hurt.
Wait, she is a fun date.
I'm sure you. But I don't lean that way. It is still nice to have guests, though. So few wander into my home so willing. The odor of rotting flesh continues to get stronger, and the voice gets a little bit louder, apparently coming closer. Roll perception, everybody.
Okay. Oh, I got a 10.
That's a little better. Ronnie rolled a 4, but Sir Regios rolled 11.
Okay, I got a 10 and 11. Oh, great.
You can tell that the voice is definitely approaching from the north, from the exit to the chamber. But you still don't see anything.
Sir Regios goes, either we end up having to fight in this very narrow passageway, or we make our way up north with a little bit of wiggle room to move.
Since I got a 4, I go. Get up. Let me see the torch.
Glances over her shoulder at you, and a little bit hesitantly kind of passes the thing over shoulder, not looking at you, hoping that you'll be able to take it.
I grab it and I go. We only gonna have 2 torches if this thing goes out. Do y'all trust me, or we need to see what we're going into?
Sir Regios, immediately knowing what Stryker wishes to do, goes, give Gadok back her torch.
Gadok growls and says,
Make up your minds.
I'm like,
And immediately, once she has it, he throws his instead.
no, I didn't even give it back to her yet. So, don't tell me what to do. And I go, listen, trust me.
and as you say listen, you hear a thudding noise coming from the entrance.
I said, well,
It's a very peculiar arrangement of sounds. It sounds like someone walking, but the gait is unfamiliar and awkward sounding.
I go, you know what? For once, I'm actually going to listen. Get out here, and I'm going to tell her, move back. No, you got your shield out, stand in front.
Actually, I saw the 2 minutes photo.
And I'm looking back like,
I said, trust me on this.
all right, then you go in front. And I push him
All
forward.
right, that's right. I'm going in front.
Gadok kind of reluctantly allows Noel to step forward, so he's standing beside Ronnie.
And once he moves in place, Sir Regios throws his torch upward to pass Ronnie and Noel in order to get a little more light ahead of them.
The torch zooms forward and lands several paces downrange, I'm going to say out here or so, into the wider passageway, and illuminates the area ahead of you guys. Still, you don't see anything, and the rhythmic thumping of approaching footsteps does not seem to slow or falter at the sudden appearance of this torch.
And I do this. I look up.
Alright, look up, roll 12 side.
You know what? Ronnie looks up as well.
Damn it, come on.
Don't worry, Ronnie got you. Ronnie rolled a 10.
Good, I got a 3.
Striker, you look up, and it's hard to see anything in the gloom past the edge of your torchlight, but you do see something that vaguely looks like movement on the ceiling, although you still can't quite see where the ceiling actually is. It's very high up. Ronnie, on the other hand, you gaze upward, your eyes being somewhat more adapted to the gloom since you do not have a torch yourself. You see what looks like a pale mass way up at the top of the arched ceiling, probably a good 20 feet over your head, which seems to be lumbering in your direction. It's right at the entrance to the passageway.
Oh, son of a bitch.
And as soon as she says that, I pull out my bow. I was like, tell me where.
13 reasons why.
And Ronnie goes, just a few feet in front of me.
And I go and I start aiming. And I was like, I'm going on a prayer right now. I hold back. And I let go.
Roll 20 side, but at disadvantage since you can't,
I can't
see what
see
you're
nothing.
shooting at.
I swear, if I don't get a better one than this one, I'm gonna be so pissed off. Oh, come on. Okay, so the first one was a 19, but and the second one was a 16. So,
16, unfortunately, is what you're going to have to go with.
yep,
The,
that's still better than nothing.
16 plus 5, though, that's still not bad.
yeah, that's still pretty good, actually. So,
Ooh,
the
that's
arrow
good.
streaks forward, and you hear a soft, cushy thunk when it impacts.
And I was like, go ahead.
The rhythmic thudding of footsteps stops for a moment. And you hear, "That wasn't very nice."
And I go, yep, I hit it. Ready up, everybody.
A moment later, this pale mass drops from the ceiling, just falls straight down, and lands with a crash on the floor in front of you. And then slowly begins to rise up. The creature standing in front of you rises to about 6 feet tall, and at first glance it looks like a person, maybe even a woman, but a huge, bloated, baggy woman.
And immediately Ronnie, being Ronnie, and just who the piss head are you supposed to be?
This woman stands to her full 6-foot height. Baggy, swollen jowls flanking a set of double chins, perched atop a neck as thick as a tree trunk, and round, flabby shoulders that are 3 times as broad. Strong gorilla-like arms dangle from those shoulders, hanging past her waist, supporting disproportionately large hands with claw-like fingernails. A wiry mesh of vines and roots and plant fibers barely contains 2 enormous sagging breasts which spill out over a grotesquely swollen belly, and her sides jiggle with every motion as she straightens up and glares at you. But the similarities to a woman end at that point, because from the waist down sprout crab-like legs, which end in thick clawed 4-toed feet, huge and bloated from unnaturally wide hips. But the most bizarre, horrifying thing about her is probably her face. Because you almost can't call it a face. Empty, black sockets stare out over a skeletal nose where eyes should be, and saliva oozes from a mouth filled with jagged teeth that grin at the group of you in the passageway. Stryker, your arrow protrudes from her massive stomach, but she doesn't even seem to notice it as she stands before you. She rasps, and saliva oozes down her mouth with every syllable. I has a name. Mogra.
I'm like, I said, hold that thought, and I'm like, I'm putting my hand in front of my mouth. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna bust.
The smell of rotting flesh is incredibly strong, and now that she's standing in front of you, you also catch the undertones of sweat and blood. It is taking everything you guys have not to gag right there, not only on the aroma but the sight as well.
I was like,
And-
all right,
Go ahead.
Keep going. Sorry.
No,
Keep going.
please.
Sorry. Oh no, I was gonna say I was gonna run and swing at it with that nice sword I got.
That's where we're going to leave it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, damn, we're over time. Holy crap.
Oh, we're highly over time, by the way.
Oh yeah, we was in it.
Like, we are 3.5 hours in, boys. So first of all, let me apologize to the dear mighty mage. For those of you sitting at home, we usually try to start these recordings about 7 or so and try to keep the length about roughly 2.5 hours, sweet spot, with a little bit of space to go over because mighty mage has to turn into a pumpkin around now to get up for work early in the morning.
Oh,
So
that's the thing.
We're sorry for taking out your sleep time, buddy, tonight.
No, it's okay. I did this deliberately. I knew we were far enough in that it didn't make sense to not go the extra mile and reveal.
Well, I thank you for your sacrifice.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been FailPG. This has been another Failtastic episode. If you enjoy this kind of crazy content that we create, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. If you don't enjoy it, then why are you here? Why are you watching this? Go away. Go home. And yeah, that's us.
That's about it. Yeah, no, right?
Hit the ding ding dings. Hit the
Wait.
for notifications. You hit the thumbs ups for your likes, and you hits that buttons to share with your friends. There is a share button on your phone. I promise there is. It's that one that has like the 3 dots looking like they're trying to play Connect 4, but really bad at it. That one. I
Hey
promise.
Sergio, that reminds me of the Broodmother from Dragon Age Origins. Remember?
Yes, I was going to say something about that, but I didn't. I was going to wait until we went off air, but since you didn't said it, fuck it.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yes, good night, good luck, and how many bets does anybody want to take that we're all dead?
We're all gonna live and we're all living.
Well, actually, I see no dying. 'Cause he was-
This one's for you, Brandon Cutler. TPK.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.